Salam, shalom, wise solace speaking. Peace and wisdom. Hopefully everyone's well. And of course, if you're not, use it as a reminder of what you're supposed to be. So if you're not well in this moment, use that statement as a reminder to be well. Not so much physically, of course that's included, but all is mental and emotional for the most part. Now I want to do this deep video. I gotta get the feeling back. Let's start with current events. You have the whole Kamala Harris thing. She's running for president. And of course, most of us, myself included, don't view her as qualified. But when you're speaking of presidents, you get my point, nobody's truly qualified. It's just one of those jobs. You know, a face card thing. You just stand and show your face, you know, smile and wave. Now, the point I'm making in regards to Kamala Harris, this is mainly to the black people. You don't have to support or think she's qualified. Like I said, you don't have to support or think she's qualified. But when you go to the extent of tearing her down, you get my point? And this is where our young are going wrong. Meaning, I'm looking now, it's the elders, the stupid elders in the community are in the nationality, so to say. You know, we all labeled in that way. It's the stupid elders in the nationality that's making the young dumb in that way. And so I'm going to say that again. If you black, whether you support or feel like Kamala Harris should be the president or not, you shouldn't get lost in the tearing down. You get my point? She don't have to be qualified. Like I said, ain't nobody truly qualified for that job. So let's get real. But when you go to the extent where you start digging and seeking to tear your own down to make a point, no, they shouldn't be the president. You lost your way, meaning you lost into society when you start tearing your own down. Now, I know a lot of y'all will say, she ain't black. Whatever she is, ain't no need to go to that extent. Now, she look like a lot of y'all, so if she want to be the president under black, that go to us anyway, however you cut it. You get my point? Besides that, y'all said Obama wasn't black. Whoever ain't a cold-blooded nigga. Well, you get my point? Y'all gonna be like they not black. Unless it's you. Truly. Somebody in wherever you at, you don't qualify for shit, but you get it? If it only you is the perfect, meaning everybody seeking out their own self or what they view they self as through the ego, not the reality. But the point I'm is whatever a black person is doing, I'm not saying you have to be biased in your perspective. Whoever is more qualified is more qualified. So Trump is white, but if he's more qualified than she is, so you get my point? Do as you feel. When you get to the point, you get my point? Where you start jumping on sides to the point where you tearing down your own. Just because you want somebody else to win. You get my point? You're losing yourself, and that's what society is based on. Y'all watching the basketball game. Let's say two black people watching the basketball game, but they both betting or they go with different sides. Y'all will overlook y'all own nationality and who y'all are. And really start arguing, damn near fighting like children over people you don't even know. And it's passed down to our own. This is the dishonor that we see in our young, where we be like, they ain't got no loyalty. It come from stuff like that. Y'all getting lost in society, taking society's sides. You know, when you're dealing with society, you always got the opposing thing. So you got Bloods, you got Crips, you got the fire department, they red, you got the police. You got defense lawyers, you got the opposite. You get it? You always gonna have that in society. That's why they truly have that's why they truly have nationalities, you know, to keep everybody separate. If y'all don't have anything to like label yourselves as, then you get my point. Everybody would just be mixed up in there with whoever they cool with. It wouldn't be a color thing. It'd be whoever you familiar with and whoever you came up with. Peace and wisdom staying off grid. That was funny. I ain't gonna laugh. You goofy. When water become gay. So you get my point? You've lost your way. Now, you had your moment, relax. Now, back to what I said. You have many opposing things in society, and that's what it's based on. Nationality included. Y'all didn't come up with these nationality names that we fall into, but y'all play the game. Never becoming self-aware. Hold on, society is playing, you know, when I say society, I'm talking about those that rule society. Yeah, I don't ever take a moment to look and say, man, society is us all against each other. We ain't getting nothing out of it. It's just their game of how they keep us busy. So we never realized that. Like, hold on, we ain't really getting shit out of all we doing and all the bickering and fighting we doing and opposing. After we fight and kill each other over who gonna be president, Trump or Kamala, y'all still ain't gonna give us shit. And that's every race. This don't got nothing to do with black or white. If you white, it's the same for you. Maybe you get a little more than this next race, but overall, whoever's standing in office, they seem to be the one to walk away. Shit, Obama was broke when he... Obama was damn near broke when he started running for president. Now his kids is millionaires. And we all, you get it? Most of us probably have evolved from them times, but it had nothing to do with that. And so you gotta open your eyes. You get too lost into society. Next thing you know, you're fighting your own to make a point that ain't yours to make. And so while y'all bickering over who should be president, always remember that. Y'all fighting and bickering over points that ain't y'all's to truly make. It wouldn't matter which of them is qualified. At the end of the day, you get it, Trump is not pulling up to McDonald's to do no shifts after he get in office. And when everybody goes out and votes, peace and wisdom, one chosen. Like I said, when everyone goes out and vote, we play our own part in a system in society that we complain about. We complain about the thing, then we jump right into playing the game to keep it going. That whole president system been broken, y'all been know that, but y'all still holding it up by running out to the polls every year, playing the game. And those that benefit off that, they gonna encourage you, you know? Y'all know how this go, man. They will pay y'all to pull up to Kamala Harris speaking. Y'all like, I just came because they paid. When you dealing with poll times, a lot of y'all got poll time jobs. Think on that. Meaning they buying y'all to play this game. In that, some of y'all that wouldn't even be involved, well, maybe you work it. Meaning you benefit off of it a little bit. And so do you get my point? That's how everything works. They make the little bit benefit to bring in the rest who ain't gonna benefit and just gonna make it what it need to be. Look at it, basketball. You got 5 people per team on the court, but it's hella people on the team. And a lot of them dudes ain't never gonna get more than 5 minutes on the court. They ain't never gonna get their chance, and they ain't there for that. They just there to sub in when somebody need a breath. And the people that's watching the game, they gonna get less. They gonna actually pay to be there. But those that's gonna benefit off it truly is the owners. And not the slaves running up and down the court, and not the slaves in the stands that paid to be there. Peace and wisdom, Joseph Fisher. This is not that kind of place where you come in that emotional state. Come here to learn. If you don't want to learn, you move along. Kine said it's interesting how people outside of the U.S. are more invested than y'all. I swear this is bigger in Europe, I think you put, than it is in the U.S. The U.S. is a country that was developed after countries like the countries over in Europe. I don't know if you was trying to write UK, Europe, whatever. But a lot of Arab countries and a lot of European countries was already established before America. So you gotta always know new things still gotta fall in line. In that America ain't an independent country. When we think of independence, meaning most of you guys will say like America got their independence whenever they did. But it's not talking about the people of America. It's talking about the colonizers that came to America, colonized and developed the place. And then they're getting, you get it? Sovereignty from the place that they came from. When the 13 colonies in early American history, meaning when America was first being developed, it was just 13 colonies at first. So you could just say 13 states to make it simple. Them 13 states was developed and created by Europeans that came over here, that came from a developed country already. The country that they come from is the country that financed their journey. So in that, whatever they develop in is truly ruled over by the country they come from. So you got Europeans coming over here developing states or countries, but the place they come from still truly rule over it. When those 13 colonies got their independence, it's speaking in that way. They got their independence from the country that they came from. America are those 13 colonies no longer being a subsidiary, you can say, of Britain or this place or that place, but its own nation under those colonizers, though. And that get it European owned or rule controlled, dependent from the place they came from. It's not speaking of the people in the place that don't rule the place. There you go, Khan. Europe is invested in U.S. politics. Sorry for the sloppy. Yeah, everybody's invested in everything. Everybody's playing the game. It's like I was explaining with y'all. Y'all invested emotionally, mentally, forgetting the realities of things. And so overall, you want to teach the generation coming up to be, sophisticated in their ways. When you see this whole presidency and all of that happening, you see how sloppy it is. They damn near taking out commercials to slander the next person. Take out a commercial to explain what you're going to do and keep everything professional. And so I got to look at things for the sloppy, wretched mess that they are and stop holding them up by getting intrigued and involved in it. Once you come to realize the society you in ain't for you, meaning the rulers of it, they ain't got you in their best favor, you don't sit around playing their games. They not picking civilians to run for president. They already got their system, and you ain't a part of it. And how you going out to play a game and ain't none of yours even a part of it? Again, ain't they not coming out into society and saying we just pick who we gonna make president out of the civilians? No, they have civilians that's called like senators, and you get my point? They already got they pick of the litter set to the side. In that, y'all just fall into the game every 4 years. You seen a black race slandering Trump the first year or the first term that he ran. And now this time y'all all on his side, but there's no accountability in y'all flip-flopping ways. If you not for Trump when the first time he was in, it shouldn't matter who he running against, you shouldn't be for him. And if you ain't for the opposite opponent, you shouldn't be for the whole thing. But my point is y'all are not self-aware to see, man, y'all controlled by society. A lot of y'all like to pretend like y'all have y'all own mind and your own perspective, but your perspective is based on society. Otherwise, why you had a problem with Trump before and now you don't? And you can't say because I don't like the opposing party that's running up against him. The opposing party is the party I was arguing with and doing all y'all was doing to make him lose. Meaning it's still Democrats versus Republicans, but now y'all Republicans. And so you gotta be sturdy and solid in your ways. You can't flip-flop around. You get my point? And this is where black people go wrong. Meaning we too controlled by society. Society control our perspective and our mind. You want an example? Let's say you a Christian, right? If I say the God y'all waiting on to come back, you know, the flesh and blood God that walks the earth, he already came back. He already here. Most of y'all will say no, he ain't. And you know why you gonna say that? Because it wasn't broadcasted on the news. Or the bulk of society didn't tell you that. And so that should show you that you're just a follower of society. Otherwise, if God come back, you should know him because you got this script of him. Not talking appearance, I'm talking about the ways. And that most of y'all will see. I don't know the ways of the God that I follow. Otherwise, I should be able to discern him when he come back, and it shouldn't be dependent on society telling me, yes, that's it. You should just know. And so that's my point. Y'all believe in God, but y'all believe in whatever society tell y'all. And these matters got to do with the know. You're supposed to know God in that way. Say, I don't know what God look like. You ain't got to. You're supposed to know the ways, the presence of a thing. That part. And so I'll say again, the man God, it's already here. But you don't know God to discern God when you see God or hear it. Now, I know a lot of y'all probably say, yeah, you who you talking about? I ain't talking about nothing. You supposed to know. I'm just here to remind you. You can get lost in society or the world. Stop using your own brain and your own knowing to then be dependent on society and whatever they say. And that's when you know you going down the toilet. You ain't about to tell me you could trust society. That's too much experience to show you you can't. For you to tell me, nah, I could trust what society says. You could be a little kid and you already know half the stuff I hear online wound up being wrong. Or it never come to be at all. Yeah, like that. You can't trust society, but a lot of y'all are invested. Trill Chris says some people in Africa are rooting for Trump. Y'all are lost in things that hold no merit in life. It wouldn't matter if Trump get in office or Kamala get in office. Whatever gonna happen, gonna happen. They just face cards. And just people that stand as the face of America and smile and wave. And whatever gonna happen, gonna happen. The strategy, the plan for America for the next 4 years is already written out. That's why the president gotta run everything by Congress. Because everything already mapped out, and if they got any little 2 cents that they want to add, well, ask first. You don't run this show. You're just a face card. And this is the things y'all supposed to be teaching y'all young, because a lot of y'all old and you've been around long enough for a few presidents where you already know. My life ain't dependent on what president is in office. That never truly makes any difference. That part. What matters in y'all life and how y'all do all right or not depends on if y'all emotional state is good and y'all have good relationships with the people y'all supposed to. That's what matter. Not you kissing some president ass or society's side. I'm gonna go with this side of society, maybe this or that. No. And so if you my age or older, you need to at least be telling your young now. It's the same system that dogged us out in the time, and it wouldn't matter if they letting us vote now. They only doing it because they need the numbers, meaning they using us. And you don't never let yourself get used after you already been beat down. People don't beat you down, dog you out, then use you when they need you, and you don't even get repaid for when they first dogged you out, nor do you get anything for the work you gonna do moving forward. And that's the accord that we on as a people. We ain't get no repayment for the dogging out of the past. And here we are doing free work now. That part. And so at least tell your young, don't fill them up with bitterness where they running around here hating people, feeling like somebody owe them something. But you let them know whoever owe you, owe you. And you don't let no nigga that owe you come making you do nothing till they repay you for what they owe. I don't know if that makes sense to some of y'all, but you let them know that at least. Because we be falling on the lesser end of things, and you get my point? We ain't no different than the Palestinians over in Israel getting beat the fuck up and kicked out of they lands. They was there first, before the white Jews came. It's the same like black people in North America. We was here before y'all came, our ancestors. And you can change that narrative all you want. You can make it Mexicans, they from South America, Middle America, but we talking about North America. But they don't ever want to talk about North America. They want to redirect it to a people who come from the South to say, no, this is who was here in America before. It's a North and a South America, but what happened in the North? Who was in the North? That part. They don't talk about that. When you look up images of Indians of America, all you see is South American. They show you from that side. Of course, that was the first side that was, you know, kind of dibbled and dabbled with. North America, that start from like 1600 forward. But Middle America and South America, this is 1492 and forward. So that's a 100-year head start. But the point I'm making, whether you a dark-skinned Puerto Rican or Puerto Rican, it wouldn't matter. Over in Puerto Rico, are you a black person in North America? Are you a Mexican over in Mexico? It's the same. Them countries was in existence before ours truly. Meaning people was dwelling them lands and the place was a civilized place. It wasn't a rainforest with indigenous people running in it. America was like that in 1492, 1500. Them places was already developed and they was already fighting over them. I'm giving you that example so you could see all y'all doing is looking at the places y'all from. In the future, there's going to be a time where the Mexicans of Mexico rebel against the government, and you get it? The forces that kind of came in there long ago and took over the place. To now where your common Mexican, he working and ain't even barely getting nothing. While foreigners is ruling this land. And so it's the same with blacks and every other race and every other place you could think of. What y'all seeing over there is just a reflection of what's to come over here. When it happened long enough to y'all grasp and be like, hold on, man. Tired of being broke and shit and playing this little game. Then y'all gonna start rebelling, talking about, no, we was here first. Then you get it? Let the wars everywhere begin, but man got to learn how to settle his differences and all these things without going to war. Otherwise, what's the point of being a man? You could just be an animal. You get it? The animals just fight it out. And so hopefully y'all, come of age. When I say come of age, I don't care if you're 60 years old. If you fit the shoes to a lot of the things I'm saying, you got to come of age. The body is going to mature and grow. But the mind and the emotional states, you got to do that manually, meaning on your own. Again, your body going to grow and stretch and do all it need to do on its own. You ain't got to do nothing for that. You ain't got to do nothing for your mustache to grow and for you to get taller than you was when you was 8. But you got to do something to get your mind beyond 8 and your emotional state, or it will stay like that. It's not going to grow on its own. It's going to grow when you put some attention to it. This is why some of y'all in y'all 20s and y'all know people 40, 50 years old where you like, man, they slow. Man, they one knife short of a whole kitchen. They one piece of silverware short of a whole kitchen set. Do you hear me? And so this go deep. Now give me a little second so I can take a tinkle. That's a PP. My Cat Williams voice. A PP. Now, as the citizens of the place, I almost bust my ass. I'm sorry. Like I said, as the citizens of this place, we got to. We get to call us we want to get ruled under, and how that whole system gonna work. Not taking whatever they giving us, because it ain't working for us. It's working for whoever rule. And that, you get my point? It'd be the same old story. And so, like I said, most people, they just lost into society. Meaning y'all wait for society to tell y'all what's just, what's not just, what's this and what's that. This is why I said if you a Christian, you can't say God ain't walking the earth right now in the flesh and the blood, because you don't believe in God. You believe in whatever society say. If I told you right now, I'm that person that they wrote in that book, yeah, I'm the prophecy fulfilled, Most of y'all will say, no, you ain't. But you just saying that because all of society ain't tell you that. It don't have nothing to do with you. I made that point with Trump. Y'all ain't had a problem with Trump before, now y'all don't. Whatever you picked up in society is your sign that you are ruled over by society. Y'all gangs, y'all religions, and all these other groups that y'all find in these mindsets and ideals that y'all pick up, y'all pick them up in the society. In that, I'm going to always make my point that you truly don't worship or stand on whatever you supposed to. You just stand on society. And I'm not never going to be wrong, because that's what led you there. That's where you got it from. It's no person that's in a religion right now that could say, I did not get this religion from society. I got it from my heart. No, you heard about it from the society, you and your mother, your daddy, or whoever. And then from there, you shaped and formed your belief and your ideals according to what you heard. That part. And that's what took you away from God. Because like I always tell y'all, God is within y'all. It's your higher self or that higher voice that you hear come to you ever so often when you're doing the wrong dumb shit that you know better than to be doing. If you young, you about to have sex for the first time, that voice that came to you and was like, chill. You get it? We all know the voice. Some of us haven't heard it. Blow that shit off so much, it don't even come no more. You lost and you somebody that's on the extreme end. The first time you shot somebody, you know, your mind was racing, I'm sure it was. And you knew what you was about to do was wrong and you might get in trouble for it. And you was hesitant. And now you probably just shoot niggas like it ain't nothing. You don't get no voice in your head or no thought. It's just normal to you now. And it's the same with the person that sell drugs. It's the same with the cheater. You cheat on your wife, but the first time you was a little hesitant. You said, is this a setup? Because you knew better. That part. That is God within us all. I know y'all don't think God will leave y'all to have to be dependent on somebody telling you some shit. God come as yourself from within you. This is where you get those opposing thoughts, meaning God and Satan is within y'all and they ambush y'all when they feel like it. And you listen to whatever you choose. Most people listen to their Satan because it seems like it's going to benefit them in the moment. Some people got a higher understanding in that when that voice come in, they listen. And that voice become their God and their everything until they evolve into the voice itself. Where the voice don't need to tell them what they don't need to do and what they do need to do because they already know and do it on their own. And so getting to know God start with that. Getting your higher voice back. And that higher voice is a guide for you to become your higher self. And that's the only way you're going to have a relationship with real God is when you clean and in your glory. It ain't like your religion where you can come all sloppy and dirty however you want. Like it's cool. And everybody can take the time out on themselves and make sure they right before they present themselves to God. I'm not talking about your physical. I'm talking about your mind, your emotional state, your sloppy thoughts, your dirty thoughts. And everybody can clean themselves up before they present themselves. And so you get my point, it's no excuse. And this ain't like church or things of the world where you just decorate your physical and act like that's enough or that's sufficient, because it's not. So a lot of y'all are falling into becoming the evils that y'all speak on. A lot of y'all are the exploitation of these religions that y'all speak on. It's you that's exploiting it, and not just you, but you get it, the whole generation. But that's for y'all to get an awareness or a mind to see. Meaning if you were part of the generation where y'all act like y'all actually study the book and the religion and y'all live by the faith 100%. If you know you not like that, but you do be front like you a holy Christian, acting like this really your faith, well, do you get it? You are what's exploiting it because you're supposed to be right in your way. You can't be an op of the thing and say you the thing, meaning you can't serve what ain't right, but then say, well, I'm a Christian. That's why I said some of y'all in gangs and you got a religion. You so lost. How you serve two masters? How you come into a religion still carrying your filth and they let you? Meaning how you go into a religion still claiming a gang and nobody in the religion don't correct you and say, hold on, what are you? You can't be pumping this religion if you gonna be pumping gangs too. That don't go together. That part. And so this younger generation, they think a religion is a gang. And that's how that happened. And so if you young, you're gonna be shown all the wrong ways to do things. But you get my point? You better use all that wrong you get as experience to know the right way. You can either be shown the right way and choose to listen on your own, or you can learn from the wrong way. It's your choice. But whatever you choose, you get my point. You make sure you learn at some point where it become a no. Otherwise, you'd be stuck in the cycle of things. You know, the never-ending cycles of stupidity. And so hopefully that sat well with most of y'all and y'all grasp what I'm saying. Like I said, it's not a race thing. Those is little statuses and labels we fall into as people. We supposed to be stronger than that. Meaning I fall into the black nationality or the African American. The next person, they fall into the African nationalities. Some of y'all fall into the Latin nationalities. Some of y'all fall into the white nationalities. But we ain't make this up. And none of y'all can pinpoint who did. We just all fall into it. And once we do, then we start arguing with each other about what nationality is better when all the nationalities as a whole ain't shit. You just got certain people in certain nationalities that's good in their way. And for the bulk, everybody else is an asshole. Looking to be racist against the next race. And can play dumb on that all we want. But that's the truth. Instead of us being stronger and say, you know what? The only person something to me was society and those who rule it that's playing these games. And homeboy over there don't look like me, ain't got shit to do with nothing. He didn't do nothing to me. He ain't got nothing to do with me. It's how I feel when I see a Mexican. Blood ain't did nothing to me. He ain't got nothing to do with me. I wouldn't care if we have an argument in that moment. He's still, you get it? That part. Our constant oppressor is the society or the rulers of the society that we in. That's the constant. And we just take our frustrations out on each other playing like we stupid. So you having a bad day because you don't like the life you got in society, but you gonna take that out on the opposing gang, your girlfriend, your mama, your siblings, another race, whoever you can. Never taking the frustrations out on where you're supposed to, so you get that change some kind of way. And we all fall guilty of that. Y'all on here arguing with each other like that's your real problem. That ain't your real problem. Dame Dash arguing with Jay-Z like Jay-Z his real problem. Jay-Z is a puppet or a pawn of whoever your problem is, homeboy, and you better get real. And another thing, in regards to Dame Dash, where is Daniel? Cause you're turning into a chatty patty. I'm gonna say that again. Hopefully Dame hear this. Man, you're turning into a chatty patty. And I be depending on some of y'all to stand on the morals that we all came up by, where men don't gossip like no goofy goofs. And I watch y'all drop off that every year. I'm the only one promoting that? Y'all gonna all sell out for views and goofy monetization that y'all don't even get shit off of? And this is why the young do that. Meaning this is why the young black man, he worse than the old fat lady from back in the day that watched Young and the Restless all goddamn day. She know all the soap opera talk, and she know all the gossip and rumor. And this is a modern day black man in daytime. He get on national TV or YouTube gossiping like a girl, talking about I got the tea with no shame. Like you still can't get punched in the face for that by a man. Promoting that goofiness to our young. Yeah, you can get punched in your face back in the day for that and now, because you promoting that to the younger generation. And every black man don't want his young to be a gossiping goof. That's how you forget to do what you're supposed to do for yourself. That's how a lot of y'all slacking on your own macking, because you lost in everybody else bump. And y'all falling into that because y'all see people like Dame Dash and all the people that's supposed to be standing on business and principles falling by the wayside because they a little short. It don't matter how short you is in cash, nigga. Once you short on morals, you ain't shit. And y'all could change the moral system around all y'all want, but that's the truth. Once you short on morals, you nowhere. Unless y'all about to tell me y'all let anybody in y'all circle and in y'all house, because y'all don't. That part. You be short on cash all you want. Don't get short on morals. And so if Dame listen, and you were elder than me, and I learned from you when I was young, you know. And this is a lot of things you used to say, and it was said by a lot of the people your age and older when I was coming up. Y'all told us that. Don't be no goofy ass nigga out here gossiping. Get your money, shorty. And to sit here now as I'm old, 42, watching you niggas older than me being a goofy shit that I'm positive y'all told us not to be. And y'all got it from y'all own elders. And this is why niggas be getting slapped. If you watching right now, I got hands. I'm saying that cause, you get it? I ain't got no goddamn handlers, my nigga. I beat the dog shit out of half of y'all. Again, I got hands. Don't ever forget that. Feet too. I will beat your ass, whoever. And maybe a few of y'all could get me. But the bulk of y'all gonna lose bad. And so y'all supposed to be getting beat the fuck up for the things y'all doing. Meaning if we was a real nation or nationality of people, a lot of y'all be getting beat the fuck up. Because you pushing out the wrong thing to the generation coming up. It ain't about you all the way. It's about that. And so you get my point? Y'all ain't supposed to be seeing Dame on here giving his take on shit. That's for goofies. He's supposed to be telling y'all how to get into this game and be a CEO and tell y'all everywhere he went wrong so that y'all could be that, and then y'all could put him on and he redeem himself through that. Again, he's supposed to be teaching y'all how to become an independent CEO like he did. Every detail. And tell you every detail where he went wrong. Where he went wrong, where he start forgetting that he ain't the talent and he ain't actually got no talent. He put talent out. That part. And keep everything in perspective. You get my point? You go a long way. Outside of that, that ain't for me to tell y'all. It's for him to tell y'all. But that's what he should be on here doing. And everybody should be on here teaching from their experiences and their past mistakes. Because a lot of times you don't get a second chance on your mistakes. But at least the next generation, you can get a second chance on your fuck-ups through them if you put them on the right accord and tell them, I fucked up right there. If you can avoid doing that, shit, you might have saved me and yourself. That's how we supposed to move. Teaching our young from our mistakes, not pretending. I'll be wise scholars about the experiences you got and the mistakes you made on the experiences. Like I said, you're not going to always be able to get a second chance at the things you messed up on. Whether you talking relationships or whatever. I'm talking about like girlfriend, boyfriend. You might fuck up where you can't get that back. But you can school your young when you see them about to do the same thing and mess up a good thing. Say, hold on, I got that same experience. Don't do that. And so again, Dame's supposed to be schooling all y'all how to become independent CEO because he did something that many don't do. Instead, he's sitting on here falling out his mouth and shit because he chatty patty, and that's why that happened. When you start losing yourself, then yourself show you that. The fuck is you doing, man? That part. He's sitting on there beefing and doing goofy shit with 50 Cent and this person and that person, and that ain't what Dame do. Dame get money and tell niggas to get off that goofy shit. That's what he do. And when he lose sight of that, You get my point? And I'm only saying this because, like I said, he from the same place I'm from, and you get my point? If you my age, you learned a lot from Dame if you was watching him. It don't even have to matter with a no. He always carried it like a man supposed to. Whether that's the politically correct way or not. I ain't saying anything he did was right. But in terms of being a man for the most part, he was always that. I ain't saying he ain't now, but I'm just saying he turning into y'all. A goofy. And it's about everybody standing on their square. Like I said, everybody don't want to see y'all. Everybody don't want to see no man as no chatty patty or no gossip girl. That ain't a good look. You got to have more substance to yourself than that. I don't care if the society want that from you. The society wants you to be broken down, smoking crack somewhere on the side of the curb, begging for change. You gonna do that? That part. So you don't need to do nothing else that they want. You just be true to yourself. That part. Why? Because what is it worth to lose your soul, nigga, to gain the whole world? What is it worth to get your booty hole stretched out so you could say, I'm that nigga now, I'm rich and famous? It ain't worth nothing. That part. And that is better to just kick back and wait. You ain't supposed to be grinding for money or status. You supposed to be grinding because you building your works. Everybody got to stand on their works when it all come down to it. They works and they deeds. And the outcomes of. Y'all seen enough people die where they works come to tuition when they dead. In that you just work. Maybe your loved one's gonna benefit off the work you do. Whatever the case may be, you do your work, it's gonna be how it be. You get my point? You a young rapper right now, you getting hella bread. All them old niggas like Rakim and them niggas, they wasn't getting half the bread y'all was getting, but they the reason y'all getting that. Y'all benefiting off they work. Like that. And it's because they just kept doing the work. Do you follow? And so it's about having principles, you know, honors and morals, things like that. And standing on it. When I say stand on it, you self-aware and you always check your own self, and that's cool of you. To check your own self when you start slipping a little bit. Getting too lost in society or getting too lost under other people's brain. You got your own. When you do right, people gonna try to take credit for it and say they told you this and that, and when you fucked up and they told you they gonna be slide right out the way. I'm telling you that so you grasp it ain't about listening to people all day when it's about your life. Cause they gonna take credit when anything work, and when anything don't work, they gonna slide the hell out. It wouldn't matter if they told you to do the dumb shit. And so the older you get, you gonna learn that if you young. And that, you overlook yourself. At the end of the day, we all our brother's keeper, but it start with you being your own first. You ain't keeping up with your own self and your own moral system. How you gonna be your brother's keeper? You gonna be your brother's betrayer. And so hopefully y'all grasp. Peace and wisdom all alone. You said people don't appreciate beauty. And for those who do, others try to sabotage it for them. Yeah, but that's for them to become aware of. You get it? You hear something negative about somebody, you have to become aware of whoever told you that shit. And if it ain't right, you get it? They your problem. Look, anybody lie to you for whatever reason, they your problem. They give you misinformation, they your problem. never lose sight of that. And at some point, you ask them, why the hell you always telling me the wrong shit, blood? Am I a bozo to you? You be in defense of the wrong information. Look stupid when you really need to ask yourself, why do niggas keep telling me the wrong shit? They're telling me any gossip they find before they even check if it's true, like I'm a goofy. People don't do that to me. They make sure they know every goddamn thing they talking about before they open their mouth to me. But for you, they don't do that. Why? That part. Because you ain't never got no problem with that shit. Nigga tell me the wrong information, I'm on his ass after that. Blood, you got me out here looking stupid, I should go in your mouth. But when they do it to you, you just say, what's the next one? And so you get it? Everybody get what they do to their own self at the end of the day. Until they become self-aware. You're gonna get dragged all around this place, mentally and emotionally. I'm letting the sound settle down a little bit. Now, I want to say something in regards to Big Meech coming home. Like I said, this is the current events part. I'm going to get into the rest of the title as I go. But we dealing with the current events, not the gossip events, the current events, and how y'all let current events take y'all away from the present moment. Now, the big-time drug dealer Big Meech is home, BMF. And this is where black people go wrong. We do too much celebrating of the things that really don't matter. Meaning y'all be celebrating drug dealers like y'all want y'all kids to grow up and to be that. Y'all don't, but y'all don't have no self-awareness. Y'all want to fit in with society. In that, you got LeBron James talking about welcome home, Big Meech. Nigga, you don't come from that life, stupid. You got a bunch of kids, they look up to LeBron James. They see him saying welcome home, Big Meech, then they fall right into that. Like that. I'm not saying LeBron James can't have no love for Big Meech. But when you're promoting those types of things, I come from a time where my elders have friends that I can't be around. And that ain't no problem. The friend understand, everybody understand. Nigga, you ruthless, nigga. You ain't 40. You ain't supposed to be around nobody kids but your own, nigga. You crazy. And they know that. They like, nah, I'ma come through and check you. Your kids around? Yeah. Alright, I'ma come when they leave or go to sleep. Gangsta had a certain kind of prestige about himself when I was growing up. You didn't have to have no shame in telling the gangster, man, I can't be saying welcome home to you all loud like that, because my kids be bugging. They think that they halfway in the streets. I don't want them to get nothing confused, nigga. You do the wrong thing, but you get it. Everybody do what they got to do when they got to do what they got to do. So you get my point? We got to stop trying to fit into society when we gray and shit. Because half y'all gray. Acting a damn fool. You get my point? I'm glad Big Meech is out because, too many of us is in there and he was in there for a long amount of time. I know somebody personally that been in there for 23 years already. 2026 would be 25 whole years they've been in there. They might got 25 already. I might not be doing my math right. But the point I'm making is, you get my point? I'm glad he out, but I wouldn't be saying that with my kids and all like a here. I would let my kids know, no, that ain't the life you want to live, and you better learn from, you get it? All them bags under his fucking eyes. You see how that time fucked his face and his whole body up, nigga? Why y'all on here capping, scared to tell the truth, blood? 20 years, them 20 years work, Big Meech. I almost ain't recognize them. And so, do you get my point? Y'all better want something better for yourselves. Y'all only want those things because y'all see it getting, attention. Y'all all just chasing attention. Not so much the realities that come with these attentions y'all seeking. You on here running your mouth like you tough because you just seeking attention, but you don't really want the attention that come with the running of the mouth. That part. You gonna act like you connected to the drug dealers, but you don't really want the smoke and the attention that's coming to them. You just want the attention. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Anthony Dane. He said, I just want a battle rap, bro. And so, I ain't gonna even, you feel me? I'm gonna tell you like this, man. You better off looking up the Loaded Lux, Murder Mook, T-Rex, and one of them cats than Big Meech. And that ain't to take no glory or splendor away from Big Meech. It's just the truth of the matter. Murder Mook, T-Rex, and these niggas ain't sit up for 20 years. Y'all get to see them do what they want these last 20 years. And that's what you want. Fame and wealth, I'm sure everybody want their share, but overall, you want to at least be able to do what you like to do and make it all worth the while. And so, you might want to get things out your brain that's going to have you in the jail. So all Big Meat should have learned after all these years is, damn, I got a hell of a personality, and all this time I thought I needed to sell drugs and buy people. These people truly just like me because I was a nice person. Always giving them a little game here and there when I'm present, and whatever I got, I share with everybody. Like that. And so hopefully, y'all grasp what I'm saying. In regards to Big Meech, like I said, I'm glad he home. I'm glad anybody home that's home. I don't get nothing out of nobody being in jail. I ain't got no investments in the prison business, yet. I say that out loud. You ain't bought me a jail yet, but when I do, you nigga, I will be on here telling you niggas to offend the law. Why don't you? Nah, nah, I'm just playing. Jesus Christ is God revealed in the flesh. Shalom, shalom. Pay attention to the things I said, before, getting brainwashed into society. Now, where was I at? Big Meech and all that. We done with that. We did Kamala Harris. Oh, they said that Big Meech ratted. Y'all let people rat. Once you let the first person be a snitch, you can't jump down the line to be like, that person a rat. Nigga, you have to handle the first time you slipped up, because that's the reason for all that other shit. And this is what I mean where y'all be biased too much. There are too many rats that came out lingering all in y'all face, y'all all in they face, showing you a rat lover, to then pick whichever person you want to say, like, oh, Meech is a rat. Well, Meech is the last of the snitches to come home. Let's double back. And I don't want to offend nobody. Big Meech, BG, Rollo, whoever is a rat that's home. I'm not these young niggas. I ain't dumb. And I ain't gonna hold y'all to it because I'm old school. Niggas done let too much shit slide to be complaining about whoever trying to, you get it? You can't let people break the rules then be like, I don't get why people breaking the rules. Because your ass ain't no more rules. And so if you young, you stay out the streets. They ain't got no rules right now. And you don't want to be in that place if it ain't no rules there. Because that's hell. Meaning the streets with no rules is pure hell. You don't want to be there. If any place need rules, it's that place. But you can't get mad at people for breaking the rules if you can go back 10 years and y'all was letting people break the rules. Whenever y'all start letting people break the rules, well, you get my point. Can't be biased. In that, I'm not going to hold nobody I just named. And I don't want to have no arguments with nobody. I ain't no fucking fool. I'm old school. I was a part of that life. And so, once you sit down and have a conversation with one of these niggas, you a rat. Because I don't know what you said. And that's how that go in the street. You get it? Say, did he talk to the cops outside of anyone's presence? If the answer is yeah, I don't need to know what he said or didn't say. He a liability. Period. That part. Did they take him to the interrogation room and nobody went with them? Yeah. Once that happened, I ain't the type of person to be like, what did you say? I wouldn't know. I know you was in there with them people, and that's that. And you shouldn't have went. You should have did everything you could have did to not go. They should have beat your ass and dragged you in there. Because that's how I carry it. I ain't going. I don't got nothing to say. My lawyer ain't here. Whatever I got to say. But I ain't going in that room with y'all. And maybe I'm a pussy. I don't know. Every time I got locked up when I was young, I'm not going in that room with y'all. Blood, you going to have to talk to me right here at the cell. What I look, I'm nervous. I'm like, nah, they going to beat me up, blood. They did the last time. The first time I went in that room, they beat me up, blood. I'm not going back in there what I look like. Are you crazy? And I ain't talking to y'all either, because you get it. The first time I had an encounter with y'all, y'all beat me up. And y'all lied. And so, most real street people from the past, this their reality. I don't deal with them people, they beat me up, blood, and they lied. And they lied to me when I was young. And I don't deal with them. I wouldn't care what's happening. That part. In that, I get locked up. They say, man, we need to bring you to interrogations. Hell no. Hell no. I'm calling the CIA. I'm not going in there with y'all. And some of y'all so gullible, you go. Then try to come out the room talking about I didn't rat. Blood, they beat that you ratted. About to tell me they ain't taught you in there and I been in there. Get real. If your boy went in the interrogation room, oh, everything went according to plan. I'm gonna just tell you like that. Unless you about to tell me they ain't beat him up. You get it? I don't want to hear it. I'm not no kid. I already been through these things. You don't go in there. You don't be in their presence by yourself. And I'm old school. Once you're in the presence of the police by yourself, well, I wasn't there with you. So all I can do is speculate the safest thing for me to speculate, which is you told. You say, no, I didn't. Well, I wasn't there. And I can't take the chance that you didn't. You could have had other people present. You could have screamed and made yourself faint or anything you could think of. But you don't go. And so, I'm letting the plane pass. And so a bunch of people gonna be telling to get out of jail that already been in jail, because I'm sure they hear about all the telling going on and all the coming homes going on. And so anybody that's not taking advantage of that would be a fool, technically. I mean, y'all don't care who a rat. Y'all already proved that. Y'all only care in regards to teasing. And I'm sure somebody sitting in jail that want to get out, they like, I can deal with that. They trying to steal my booty in here. I could deal with a little teasing. Just a thought. And so, kind of grass. Like you said, it's getting dark and corrupt out here, but I'm not blaming the people. Y'all the ones talking. Meaning I ain't blaming Big Meech. He ain't said nothing. Y'all doing all the promoting of his evil deeds, and I can't say his perspective. He ain't said. Y'all just saying, doing all the saying for people. And that, you get my point? It just be what it be. But at the end of the day, we got to clean all of that up, because all of this is ploys that we falling under. Meaning this is all strategic plannings. Keep us messed up in the head and keep us messed up emotionally. Meaning all the arguing and all the sloppy things y'all seeing online is for the next generation coming up to only know those things, because that's how they gonna vibrate. You got experience before this time, so you see the difference. All they know is this time. And that they gonna fall into everything of this time, because they don't have nothing else to fall into. And that, y'all say, I don't get this generation, how they just snitch and tell and don't even have no self-awareness of they doing it. Y'all be on here solving crimes, but that's all y'all know. Y'all don't have no time before these times where people would stand up, where y'all were around to see it. In that, all you know is the times you come up under, and so do you get it? And this is all strategic. We ain't kicking back against it. We just going with it, because we get whatever little benefit we get out of it. But on the whole, you get it? Our race is getting set back 400 years. The way y'all running around here looking all miserable and sad in the face. You're looking like a damn slave from back in the day. And the whole wretched mess. And so kind of grasp. You're looking like Christians' God. They beat up with spit on your face. A whole wretched mess. If you a Christian, don't get mad at me. I'm not insulting your God. Your religion is. And that's what I be trying to school y'all on. The religion you a part of is disrespecting God. You just lost into society, so you never noticed that. Meaning you just lost into a bunch of people who say they're Christians and you don't pay attention to nothing. If you did, you would look at that image and say, hold on, they ain't showing no images of Malcolm X with shotgun bullets all in his chest. That part. Anything anybody honor and respect, they don't show them in they worst. You only show a nigga beat up with spit dripping on his face, hung up on the cross, when you don't give two shits about him. You want the world to see this nigga hanging up there looking all dumb. And so I'm saying that so a Christian with a brain of grass, man, your religion been exploited. They got y'all worshiping, disrespecting God. That's why I say it's a satanic religion. It ain't about worshiping God, it's about disrespecting God. You don't worship any goddamn thing but they self. That's why the God y'all worship is a man like y'all. Beat up and spit on. That part. They trying to get y'all to worship y'all own damn selves or man instead of higher glories that y'all supposed to know. And so this go deep. If you a Christian, you probably think I'm your op, I'm your help. I'm y'all savior, truly. Unless you're gonna act like you blind. God is not supposed to be depicted in that image. As a man, then hanging on the cross, beat up and defeated. That image say God got defeated. That is a disrespect. The fuck is God gonna lose? What are we talking about? That part. You gonna go to your society talk. No, Jesus is the Lord and Savior because that's what they said. Okay, cool. Now that man on that cross is beat the fuck up and he looked like a wretched mess that lost life. Like, he dead. That part, that's what you worship. The image of man dead. You worship dead man. You know, that's a demon, you know. Demon is just dead and man merged. That's all a demon is. A dead motherfucker that ain't alive no more. Now, y'all worship that. Beat up, spit on dead men. And this is a blasphemy against your own self. Your own self, which is man, is the work of God. And of course, y'all all works in progress, but to disrespect man in that way is to disrespect God. And so that's what y'all religion is based on. Disrespecting man so that they could disrespect God. Nobody can't disrespect God because can't nobody see God or touch God or do anything to God. But you could disrespect his works. That part. Because y'all have no true relationship with God. Y'all have no true relationship with self. In that y'all disrespect each other like the religion wants y'all to do. Disrespect man, which is your own damn self. And when you do that, you disrespect the work of God and the progress of. Y'all evolve into y'all pinnacles and y'all great glories. This is the work in progress. And y'all all gonna get there when y'all do. But then you got people interfering with that part. And so that's what y'all religion is. In Islam, it's the same religion. So don't think I'm telling you to run to another religion. I'm telling you to learn, become one with yourself, man. Like I said, you got a higher self with you and a lower self. And then there's you there. Find yourself. The greatest one of the three. That's your way to God. Tarsha said, Jesus was a sacrifice for your sins. That's what you was told. And sin is death. You didn't die yet. If you say no, sin ain't death. Sin is when you break the laws. All laws that are broken have to do with death. Sin got to do with death. When it say Jesus was sacrificed for y'all sins, it's speaking of y'all death. And when y'all gonna die. He was sacrificed for that. But y'all still gonna die. So what we talking about? That part. Misunderstandings. Meaning y'all don't understand the scholarship concerning the religion. In that y'all don't understand, like I said. You got real God, and then you got all the ideals and dumb shit from the religion that got to do with disrespecting God. But the true understanding is much more simple, way more deeper. What sacrificed for the sins of man is seminal fluid. All physical life or any life you could think of starts with seminal fluid. This is semen, cum. It starts with cum and menses blood. That predate the physical. You can't say no person was walking this earth that skipped over that part. You can't say the whole physical existence that we live in skipped over that part. And that's called the primordial waters or the primordial abyss in your ancient texts. You know, ancient Egypt, ancient Sumer. Those are your primordial waters or your beginnings. In the beginnings, the Spirit of God hovered over the bottomless deep. Is speaking of that. Your menses waters. This is the same darkness y'all see bringing forth the moon throughout the span of the month. You see little specks of it before it become full. Then you see the fading of it out. That's the light of the dark. That's why you say like the Satan can even appear as an angel of light. It's saying even darkness can look like light, but you better know the difference between the sun and the moon. That part. The sun make all the darkness go away and the moon don't. You better know the difference between awake and sleep. Dead and alive. And so the sacrifice is speaking of the seminal fluid. This is what comes from orgasm. You know, orgasm being the realms of bliss and pleasure. And everybody you see walking this earth, they was ejaculated out from the Father, their own. And they was ejaculated out when he orgasmed, meaning he went to the land of, or the realm of bliss and pleasure mentally and snatched the soul out of heaven. That's your ass or whoever, you get it, was ejaculated out. Now, in that seminal fluid, you got all them sperm cells that was in the man's testicles, dead in sleep. It was raised back to life by that substance. That substance is the Holy Ghost. And all of physical life start the same with that substance, the fallen, or the sperm, whichever one you want to call them, and that egg cell, which is earth. Earth is soil. The menses is soil on a liquid or spiritual level. Meaning you put the seed in the menses and that's how you get the baby. The menses is soil. The seminal fluid is the seed. And physical life start there with the primordial waters. Not with dumb retard talk where you like, there's a man that's going to be born and die for our sins. What are you talking about? That come from sacrilege when they used to kill sheep and goats for their sins. They sins being their death. Meaning if you don't eat, your ass going to die. And that's what man plagued by, his sin of death. Again, when it say there's a sacrifice for y'all sins, it's talking about y'all greedy ass don't eat, you gonna die. That. The sin that you gonna die for all the murder, that's they eating. And so when the animal is killed, it's the sacrifice for sin or death. And so your religion just evolved into killing people for the same purpose, meaning they eat them so they don't starve to death and die. And you lost on old sacrilege. But the true understanding of God ain't in no religion. Only sacrilege is there. That's when you find something to be your scapegoat. And so your common Christian, they got this God that's their scapegoat. They could break all the laws in life and be all this sinner they talking about, and he gonna die for whatever bad they do. They ain't gotta be responsible. They have a scapegoat. Now ain't no such thing. But so they got. This is a name or a person they blame everything on. They just do not realize it. A Christian don't realize, hold on, all I got is this scapegoat thing that I blame everything on. I call it a sheep. That should let me see right there. That part. Tarsus, I'm gonna remove you in a minute. You haven't said anything that make any sense in regards to what's being said. You just spitting out verbatim that we all heard before. You said Jesus died for sins already. How many times you gonna say the same thing? Let that be a sign that you too young to be here, or you too ignorant and ain't got no self-awareness that you not winning this conversation. And so whatever you lost in the following, it ain't just. That's why you running out of words. And so again, we not doing that here. We don't talk over points when they made. Once you looking to do that, you slide. Yeah, he's a bozo, but he's probably a young kid lost into society and he just rambling out what he thinks sound good. He ain't got no elders to tell him. It ain't about you showing how easily you could be manipulated and brainwashed. It's about showing that you can be aware of it. That's what we respected in the young. He said, shorty right there got a smart mind. Because all that bullshit didn't work on him. That part, I'm coming from them times. Where it's being promoted to the young, man. We trying to see which one of y'all got a sharp mind and can't be manipulated and dumb the fuck down. That way I can bring you in. I got to know you got some merit first. You just a dingbat that anybody could come tell anything and you just go with anything and you can't even discern when you being manipulated or nothing. That part. Y'all don't got nothing in these times where y'all have that kind of peer pressure. And so I always look to tell y'all when y'all dumb. Because that's how it was when I was coming up. You don't be no fucking bozo and think somebody gonna tell you cool. You's a goddamn goofy. And that's what my elders told any of us. They seen us out here getting all brainwashed and going with anything for any old reason. You's a goddamn goofy and I should put my foot in your ass to the knee. To the knee. And so when you come here, you carry your brain in that way. You don't show me you some young, dumb, gullible fool that could be brainwashed and manipulated. You show me when you can catch the bulk of things. And that I won't mind helping you with the little rest you miss. And I expect the same out of you. If I miss something, you get me back on track. You don't be sitting there, you get my point? He said, you swearing, you denying all wisdom. Swearing ain't got nothing to do with denying nothing, and you bullshit talking. You about to get blocked in a minute. It's got to do with real discussions. Not, I can't measure up in the discussion, so let me bring it to something else. I'm grown, I could curse whenever I want. And maybe you ain't. But when you get there, you come back and you talk to me then. Again, I'm grown. I could swear, I could slap the shit out you anything I want. Because I'm a grown up, I make my own choices. And everybody else in here that's grown, if they want to swear, well, they not a kid no more. And so they can if they choose to. If you twice my age, then you's an old fucking kid. It's like I told them before, everybody ain't an OG. Some of these niggas is just old ass niggas. You're not an OG, you're an old nigga. You could be twice my age, but you twice my dumb. Meaning why you still getting told things. Why you can't tell when you being manipulated. That part. Because you're lost into society. You lost into promoting things that don't have no benefit for you. Nobody can avoid God's judgment. God is the devil. Let me be clear. The God over this world is the devil that y'all worship. And you're right. Nobody can avoid the judgment of the law. The thing is, don't nobody give a fuck about nobody judgment. Not the just. And so I wouldn't care what God gonna judge you. I know God. God don't judge. God told you don't judge. So you make sense of that. The God you supposed to worship said don't judge, but here you is talking about God judge. You confusing gods. Your God jealous and evil and judge and all that dumb shit, and you ain't got no awareness to separate or discern the difference between the two. But outside of that, become aware, like I said. Look at the image of the God, and that should tell you everything you need to know about what the religion is. It's disrespecting whatever God truly is, and it's trying to reduce it to some man that's beat up and spit on. And if that's fine with you, then that's fine with you. Maybe you depart on out of here. Because the last time I checked, God don't get beat up and spit on. And we ain't standing on that kind of talk. Any of y'all want to give back for the deep jewels that's going to be getting me blocked and shit by Christians that brain don't work? You can support this channel by giving back. You can click the description. The little part that say more right next to the title. You could click more. And my links are there. I appreciate it if y'all give back. I live by balance. That's the way of God. Fair and balanced. No bullshit talk around it. You stand on your dishonor if that's what you choose to do. You don't sit around trying to make dishonor the right way. You just stand on whatever wrongs you do. When I used to sell dope, I didn't try to twist it around and make it just. I just stood on what I did. That's that. That part. You move like that. And be a man in this life or a woman, and you stand on shit like that. You ain't always gonna do the right thing. Sometimes you're gonna have decisions to make, and the two decisions might be a rock and a hard place, and you taking the lesser of the two evils. But that's how it be when you get so lost into the evils. That's all your options wind up being. Two fucked up things, but you gotta choose the lesser out of the two fucked up so you can work your way back to, you get it? Getting some options that's good. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but if you listen right, you'll grasp what I'm saying. You go down that path where you're doing dishonorable things, you're gonna start to notice, yo, my options are becoming like two fucked up things. And the deeper you go down the wrong path, the more you start to notice, man, the decisions I got to choose from, they both fucked up. They both fucked up realities for me. Usually people take the worst. They keep taking the worst decision or the most dishonorable decision out of the two options. Every moment of your life, you got decisions to make. One decision is the greater, the other's the lesser. Most people take the lesser thing because it look like it's going to bring them some glory in the moment. And they keep doing that until all their options is two lesser things. But that's okay. You got to start from there. And be aware, okay, I got two fucked up options. But if I take the lesser evil of the two, I could work my way back. You get it? And next time I got a decision to make, always choose the lesser of the two evils until I get to a place where I have two options and they both good. One is less good than the other, but they both are good. You understand? Some of y'all living that now. You got two job offers. They both better than the job you got now, but one of them better than the other. But however you cut it, this is your reality. Say, shit, I got to choose from, good and gooder. But you do got people here right now, they got two badass choices to pick from. That part. You young, you take heed to what I just said. You old, shit, you use it as a reflection of wherever you may be. And so, try to grasp. I'm gonna let you go, Tarsus, but I enjoyed your company, man. Salam, shalom. I'm an author, a grandfather, and don't let my giving you experience from my past to talk out of it out of context. That's how you're gonna get punched all in your mouth. This is not the kid channel where you feel like shit, then you start talking out of context on people. You talk out of context on your bum ass mama, your dirty ass father, or whatever low lives raised you up to not have sufficient manners and etiquette when you come into somebody's presence. You can feel like shit all you want and you can keep blabbering out your Jesus talk, but you act like a crack baby that was raised by low lives that didn't take out the time. Again, you having a conversation, don't reach to low things when you dealing with me. Now, in regards to who I am, nigga, that part. I ain't a person you came and bought your crack from. You here getting wisdom, not whatever substance you on. So don't ever refer to me as anything that got to do with substance dealing, nigga. You go to my website, ain't no substance on there for you to buy. There's my literature that I wrote and copywritten and published on my own, nigga. When you come to my channel, these is all my lectures that I did and took the time out to do. And don't ever disrespect my work, nigga. Speaking on me like I'm some teenager or some nigga in his young 20s. And that's when you gonna get all kind of pistols put in your mouth. And you can learn the difference between a man and whatever street shit you talking. Because a lot of y'all lost there. You don't know the difference. But I'll show you the difference. I'll blow your gums out. Watch your mouth. Stop getting butthurt to the point where you lose your merit. Where you got to get talked to like a kid and a clown. Like you said, you twice my age. You carry it like that, you old ass nigga. But we knock old ass niggas around. We knock out old ass niggas around here when they don't carry they self like they supposed to. And I tell one of my young to knock your ass out so he get the feel. There you go. Old ass nigga confused in life. Some of y'all, you young. You don't let nobody disrespect you. You standing up for yourself and telling the nigga what he need to know. And how you ain't gonna tolerate his bullshit. You don't mind having to go in his mouth if you got to. That ain't street nigga shit. You a man. And you keep that with you. Street nigga shit got to do with street nigga talk. Besides that, you a man. Don't let no nigga come stupid talking you. That's when you put your good etiquette to the side and you show him the man you could be when somebody trying to raise up on you or disrespect you. And then you go back to your good etiquette, but you make sure you draw the line in the sand. In the daytimes, y'all think everything boil you down to somebody's either a punk or a gangster. Y'all forgot about grown-ass men of old, that will come out and put a knife in your ass. You disrespect their wife, their kid, or them. You could get lost as onlooker looking on, thinking that they some gangsta out here. I'ma say it again, some of y'all old like me, and you older. And that was your granddaddy or your daddy. That nigga went to work every day, and if any of them old fake ass street niggas on that corner would have disrespect you or him, he would have went upstairs, put his briefcase or his work utensils down, and he would have went right back outside there and beat the dog shit out of them gangsters with no fear in his heart. He raised half them. I come from them times where a man's still a man, and you're not gonna disrespect him. And when you decide you want to, you gonna get all that fake gangster shit you want. And whoever get him confused as the gangster, that's on them. But he what he is. And so if you young, you grow to be a solid man. All that other dumb shit this clown was talking, and avoid people like that. They not built for real conversations. And when they fall short in the conversation, then they gonna try to drag it somewhere else. And you ain't gotta take the higher road. Meaning if you could drag their ass, drag them. They shouldn't have went that route. Somebody want to start a fight with you and you know they can't beat you, drag their ass. They did that to theyself. Hopefully they learn. Give people the pressure they want. They want a lesson. Give it to them. Other than that, be kind in your ways. To be solid and secure in your ways and whatever it is you do. That way when somebody force their foolishness up upon you, you get it, you can shove it down their throat. That part. They come dumb talking you knock his ass out. When he wake up, I suppose he done talking, I bet you that. That part. That's the quickest way to end the problem. Old school like that. That's hella old school. Peanut butter on the mousetrap. These young, they don't know nothing about that. They think they ballers and rich and they everything in life that's sturdy for no reason. They don't know nothing about the real. They don't know nothing about overcoming the lows to get to the glories. They don't know what it's about having rats in the crib before you have a nice crib. They just know like they grew up in a nice crib, but they gangster and they from the hood. You get it? And so if you my generation, you gotta snap these fools back into reality sometime. These y'all kids. That part. All this generation could do is say, man, y'all did a good job, because a lot of us ain't even grow up in the ghetto. We pretend we do. When I was coming up, we all grew up in the ghetto. It wasn't no pretend. We used to pretend like we didn't. But nobody believed it because everybody knew. And our hardship was real. It wasn't no joke. It wasn't no I want to look cute for the moment. Y'all talk that tough shit and that poverty shit and act like y'all come from hardship because y'all really didn't. And when you come from it, it's embarrassing. Ain't nobody pumping that shit. Again, when you really come from this struggle, it's embarrassing for you. It ain't no shit you want to talk about. And that's how I know y'all fake struggles is fake. There you go, gold spoon in the mouth. Because when the silverware is plastic, it ain't much to talk about. And so y'all need to get off that. Indeed, all alone and awesome. I'm good in my emotional state. I just like to give them what they come for. It's like I said, come to be a fool. Throw it in their mouth. Smash it down their throat. Yeah, everybody device gangster. They digital gangsters. But it ain't about being gangster. It's about being a man, having some loyalty, some honor, some principles and morals about yourself. That's it. Once you get that down packed, and you on the right track of life. Meaning you on the path of life where you promoting to all generations coming behind you. This how you carry it. And whoever on dumb time, let them promote whatever they promoting in their actions. And everybody promoting whatever they promoting in their actions, whether they aware of it or not. And so you get my point? You keep everything on the up and up. Of course, everybody gonna be young. You grow as you do. That's why I say my channel ain't for the young. A lot of things I'm talking about is for when a time to come for you. When you need to stand up and be solid and you get it, start having morals and honor. But all you doing now is going to teach you why that's important. A lot of y'all young, you ain't go through no dishonor, you ain't go through no betrayal, you ain't go through none of the things for you to understand how important what's being said is. And so you get my point. But those of y'all that are, you get my point. You got to grow at some point. You can't just be society's bitch in regards to your mind for the rest of your life. You just going with what this person's saying, that person's saying. You saying this or that for opportunity purposes and things like that. This is why y'all can't believe nothing y'all hear about anybody in the daytime, because you can't trust that a person ain't just saying what they saying because they want some opportunity, or they think that's the thing to say. And that you can't even trust nobody's words no more, because everybody done sold out their morals in their whole brain to be down with things they don't even know what they being down with. There you go, Chizu said. Stop wearing gray sweats and put on slacks. I'm glad you took the time out to listen to what I tell some of y'all. Get grown, get all that sweat shoe shit out of here. You too lost into watching niggas online that got their own system going, and you get it, they in the manipulating and being entertainment for little kids, and you live in the real world and you got a real fucking job, or you want one. And so you better learn how to dress like a goddamn grown-up. Running around here with sweatsuits on and you're 30 and 40 years old. I wouldn't care if that's all you got right now. You changed your mind right now, though, at least. That way, when you do go shopping next time, you go pick you out some nice slacks. You're grown. You don't gotta have a new outfit on every day. That's you ain't no little goddamn kid. You make sure your shit is up to par. The little kid need a whole bunch of outfits. They ain't even all got to be good. They just want a lot of shit. When you get older, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. You make sure you brush your damn teeth and wash your goddamn face. You keep your appearance together when you get old. And I don't care if you got one pair of goddamn pants. Make sure they some nice slacks or something that you could get a job or some sort of work in if you need to. Look at it like that when you grown. You not playing, so whatever you wearing, you need to be able to go in grown-up environments with it on. In that, always dress business casual. In that, you can get into the grown club, you can get you a job if you need to. Whatever you're doing throughout your day and opportunity come, you ready. You got on a damn sweatsuit, she ain't ready for nothing but to play basketball. And so how you present yourself is what's going to be brought to you for the day. You dress like you just woke up and you going back to sleep, your ass going to get nothing in that day. And you dress like you got something that's going to happen and something going to happen for you. Yeah, you get my point? You got to show up for what you want. And showing up like you don't want nothing out of life and you done. And this is what the young learn. They learn to dress like they just woke up and ain't got shit going. Let me give you a warning before I block you. Sour Diesel, get it together. This is a channel for intellectuals, not niggas with sour power juice in their mouth. Salam. And so if you young, like I said, there's still a current events part. I'm gonna get to the deep juice in the title. If you young, take heed to some of these things I'm telling you. Maybe you ain't got elders around you that know any better. They be like that sometimes, but and take the greatest of the higher thought, wherever it come from, and make sure you on the right track. That way when you hear the right thing, you can receive it. Most people don't be on the right track. In that, when they hear truth they ain't never think of or even realized, they be stuck defending where they at. Instead of saying it don't matter where I'm at, it's all about what I know in the moment, and whatever higher understanding I get. So that's my jewel to make whatever adjustments I need to. And so grasp. Now let's get into the deep stuff. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I know I am. And in the event, let's get into the deep stuff. I don't know how much time I got. So let's just start with Jiva and Atmam. Because a lot of y'all need this wisdom. Now, when you're dealing with Hinduism, you have what's known as Jiva, Atmam. Now, of course, this is two separate words, but they both are words or descriptions of the soul. Two separate aspects of the soul, but they both pertain to the soul. And that sometimes they're used together. Jiva, Atman, or you may just hear Jiva, or you may just hear Atman, meaning you may just hear them on their own, or you may hear them together. That's why, because they're both two aspects of the same soul. We all have a soul. The scholarship is explaining what your soul is, but not just what your soul is. The many aspects of it are the biology of this unseen presence. Everybody always trying to find their soul or detect it. And that scholarship is explaining what your soul is and the many different aspects of it. Of course, you have the Ahamkara, the Antakarana, many different aspects of the soul as it's, getting lost into the physical, so to say. Now, when you're dealing with Hinduism, they have what's known as Vimoksha, or just moksha. And moksha is when the soul is freed from the never-ending cycles of samsara, or the never-ending cycles of life and death. That's what samsara is. And so it's speaking of this physical reality that we live in, but it's not speaking of your physical body. It's speaking of your mind, which is your soul, and how it's bound to the never-ending cycles of going unconscious and then becoming conscious again. That happens for y'all every day on a mental level, meaning on a soul level. Y'all go unconscious, then y'all wake up in the morning. Y'all go unconscious, then y'all wake up in the morning. And this happens all the days of your life. You 50 years old, 50 times 365. That's how many times you've been stuck in this never-ending cycle of your falling asleep and waking up. Of course, you're going to live all the days of your life, then you're going to die. Your dying is a matter of you going into unconsciousness. Whether we're speaking about your experiencing it or you're going into the realms in space of it. And that's a never-ending cycle, meaning when the soul or the mind goes into the unconscious, it still happens to wake up and go back unconscious. This is what y'all call dream. Y'all go unconscious or fall asleep, sometimes y'all wake up, but not in the physical. I'm saying that so you could see the never-ending cycles of life or death have to do with unconscious and conscious, which is two aspects of the soul. And those two parts of the soul never end until one acquires Vimoksha, meaning y'all gonna wake up and go unconscious for all of y'all existence, whether y'all in the physical or not. Again, when y'all fall asleep, which is going into unconscious, sometimes y'all become conscious while y'all there. Then y'all have a dream. But that ain't the physical. I'm saying that so you could grasp whether you're in the consciousness or the physical, or whether you're in the unconsciousness, which is the dark unphysical, you still have the same never-ending coming off and going on. And that's what they mean by life and death, not the physical body dying. That doesn't mean nothing. You a soul in it. The dying of that ain't no different than a caterpillar losing its body and then flying off as a butterfly. It don't matter. physical going to transcend. It's going to fade off and transcend into new forms. But in regards to the soul going to keep dying. That's the unconsciousness and the becoming back conscious. And that happened even after y'all die. And so when you're dealing with Hinduism, or you're dealing with samsara, which is a teaching in it, samsara is that. It's not speaking of the physical life that y'all in, or just that. It's speaking of everything from unconscious to awake. Look at it like that. When you fall asleep, you go into the beginnings of times when it was just dark and nothingness. You go so far back, you don't even exist to your own self. That's why y'all don't know shit when y'all unconscious. Because you're going back too far. You're going back before creation. I'm not being funny, it's deep. And then when y'all wake up, this is like you coming back from the beginnings of times all the way back to your time. Or the time right now, which is the physical. And however far we are from the beginning, in that, consciousness and physical life go together. Unconsciousness and, death in the beginnings and all of that go together. And that, when we fall unconscious, this is all a soul thing. When you wake up and fall asleep, this ain't got nothing to do with physical and unphysical. It got to do with your mind going out and coming back on. And where you find yourself, who knows? See, man don't understand those realms of reality. Man, to tell you it's this many dimensions and all of this dumb talk that don't mean nothing. There's 3 realms in existence. Unconscious darkness, which I will call the dream realms or the spirit realms, and then physical life or awake, consciousness. Y'all don't know all the places in dream. Dream is a place y'all go to. Just like unconsciousness is a place y'all go to. Y'all lose yourselves there because it's that dark. The darkness to wipe your thoughts away. Thought like light. Darkness to wipe your thoughts away. All light. It's like the reverse of the sun. You see how the sun rise and it take all the darkness away? The reverse. You go there, it take all the light away. Even consciousness. Everything. And so them your 3 realities. Physical life, the spiritual realms or dream, and then that darkness. Now most of y'all, well, everybody's saved from that darkness. Meaning y'all ain't conscious when y'all there. But so, life is a reversal thing. Meaning, in physical life, when y'all conscious, and then y'all transcend over into the unconscious realms of the darkness, then y'all go out. Y'all don't just get to sit there in the darkness and see what the darkness is all about. That part. But see, when you die, the consciousness gonna go out. And you gonna be conscious in that darkness. Meaning you don't experience that unconsciousness now, because you conscious. Meaning you in the physical. But when the physical end for you or the consciousness end for you, we speaking physical. Well, you gonna be conscious in that darkness, because all is reverse. You ain't conscious in it now, because you conscious. But when you die, you gonna be conscious in it, but you not gonna be conscious in the physical. That part. You alive, so you got the physical consciousness, and when you go to the unconsciousness, you don't get nothing from it. It's blotched out to you, because you conscious and alive. And so it's the same for the dead, because they dead in one with the unconscious space. When they try to come into the consciousness, all is void for them. It don't exist. Just like that place don't exist for you now, but it do, because you go there. And so the darkness of the unconsciousness is basically the line to separate the dead from the living. We talking souls that's in physical life and alive, and souls that ain't. If I'm not clear or my sound is not right, let me know. Like I said, if anybody wants to give back, click the video's title. Okay, we still early. Now, like I said, in Hinduism, you have the Jiva Atman, which is two aspects of the soul. Sometimes they're used together because it's speaking about the soul. And of course, in Hinduism, the soul is bound to samsara. This has to do with the physical life, your physical body, all the way to that dark unconsciousness, which your body is an extension of. And so samsara is what binds the soul. Many different levels of the binding of this soul, though. Meaning the soul is bound on the physical. Y'all come and go from the day and can't escape it. Y'all bound to the unconscious, meaning y'all keep going there and can't get out of it. And most men ain't got awareness to realize that. He just live his life. He lost into society. And that he don't even realize he trapped and bound. So in Hinduism, they have scholarship for anybody who reaches a certain state of awareness. They're gonna have that question. Man, I think we stuck here. Every time I leave Earth, which is me going unconscious, then I pop back up in this place, man. Like that. You go to sleep or you leave this place as a soul, but then you just pop back up here. You can't leave. You're stuck as a spirit. And so most of y'all, you just now hearing me say it, now you like, oh yeah, that's deep. I never thought of that. Like that. You got minds or souls on different levels of awareness. Some of y'all ain't got no self-awareness or any awareness of what's happening to you. Then you have others, you know, that are aware of what I just said. Then you have those that are aware like I am. This is beyond what y'all can fathom. And so in Hinduism, you have the soul, which is the Jiva Atman, and it's bound to samsara. Now, the only way to escape samsara, the soul has to acquire vimoksha or moksha. This is liberation or freedom. Meaning vimoksha means liberation, freedom, release. In perspective, if you get released from jail, you could say, I got vimoksha from prison. That's to say I got released. I got liberated finally. But in Hinduism, they're not talking about that kind of stuff. They talking about the many aspects of the soul being liberated from the body and all the other extensions of the dark unconsciousness. Peace and wisdom, Buttery Bread TV. I appreciate that. And all the other teachers, they done already fell by the wayside that y'all was following from like the conscious community and all that. So time tells all things. Now, like I said, vimoksha, this has to do with the many different aspects of the soul being liberated. It doesn't have anything truly to do with your physical body being freed from things, but it has to do with your soul being freed. And so when you're dealing with these teachings, you have, let's say you have 2 vimoksha or 4 vimoksha. 2 of the vimoksha are the liberating of the soul, can be done while you physically alive. Meaning you can acquire vimoksha while you're alive and dead. There's 2 vimoksha that you can acquire while living, and there's 2 vimoksha that you can acquire while you're dead. Remember, vimoksha means liberation from samsara. Samsara is like the Hindus' hell. It's not their hell, but it's their way to let you know heaven, hell, and everything you could think of that you heard of. It got to do with the physical, and all of that is called samsara. So I told y'all before, like heaven and hell is in the same place. It's just a physical thing. It's when the soul still lost into it's when the soul is still lost into the physical residues of things, and you know. Now, The vimakshas that you can acquire while alive, meaning the freeing of your soul. Remember, your soul and your mind is one thing. The unseen presence of self. Now, the vimakshas that you can acquire while alive, one is called Jivan Mukti. This is the vimaksha that has to do with the soul or the mind being freed from ignorance. So you see how y'all don't know things. Y'all kind of just hear whatever y'all hear, shape and form your own understandings, but in regards to you having a knowing. You see how I explain things and you like, damn, that was deep. He seemed like he clear on what he talking about. It makes sense. Like that. A clarity. A being released or freed from ignorance. Being aware of everything transpiring around you. Nobody can manipulate you or nothing. You tell them exactly what they doing. Like that. Everybody's mind is not freed from its ignorance. Ignorance being the not knowing. Doesn't mean you're dumb. It means you don't know. And so not knowing and darkness is one. Meaning unconsciousness, which is a not knowing. Y'all knock your ass out and be like where you was at. You don't know. Like that. Not knowing is an extension of the unconsciousness or the darkness. And so the mind or soul can get vimaksha from that. Meaning, Jivan Mukti is the vimaksha where the soul or mind is freed from its ignorance or its not understanding life. This is when supreme awareness or supreme self-awareness is achieved. Knowledge of self and all wisdoms, and this is when that's achieved. Then you have nirvana, or the state of bliss. This is another vimaksha. Now nirvana is like heaven. Like I said, it's your realms of bliss. Now nirvana is a vimaksha that you can acquire while you're alive. This is when orgasm happens. Meaning, you reach puberty and then you can orgasm. And this is the soul being secreted out or released from the body as liquid. You follow? And that's a vimaksha, meaning the soul is being freed from the vessel in liquid form. And so puberty or orgasm is a stage of vimaksha, or a vimaksha that you can acquire while you're alive. You can also acquire that when you're unconscious. I'm going to explain, but just stay with me for the most part. And so that's called nirvana, meaning that's your realms of bliss and pleasure. This is basically where all souls come from. Basically what we know as orgasm. All souls come from orgasm. Their father orgasming them out. Whether you're male or female, it started there with you as that yoki substance being spit out of your father. And that yoki substance is just consciousness, pure awareness. And it's going to get down to that exhale of that body. And so like that consciousness or awareness comes directly from the soul of the person that ejaculated it out. It's their soul or their consciousness secreted out of the body as liquid. And that soul or consciousness can become its own, meaning a replica of. And so do you get it? This is what our kids are, replicas of our soul at a different time. The comings and goings at a different time. When I die, my kids still here. They me that came into life at a different time than I came. Basically me having another experience in a different time. In regards to my daughter, she's just me having an experience as a female that was born 20 years after I was born. It's my soul having another experience in a different time as a different thing. But it's all the same soul. And so You have nirvana, or that state of bliss. This is a moksha, or a freeing of the soul that can be acquired while you're alive. And Jivan Mukti, which is when you're freed from ignorance, so it's the same. Both have to do with your being freed from the darkness or the body. And so it's a simple thing to grasp. Yeah, that substance is the sacrificed lamb to be bound to the body. You know, the clay. And so in perspective, we're all the Christ here. And the religion's trying to get y'all to go against respecting the Christ. Meaning if you understand the Christ accurately, you don't disrespect no person. You don't disrespect God's work. I can't just disrespect you and hurt your vessel and mess up your vessel or mess up things for your life because you one with me. We both the Christ here. We supposed to be helping each other to work against the evils that's here that we all was born into. These evils predate us. And niggas was acting stupid before we got here. Unless you about to tell me you created all this sloppy shit you see. Excuse my language, but sometimes the message got to be raw. Ain't none of y'all start all this sloppy dumb shit that we gotta live. We all can't. I don't care how old you are. You was born into this dumb shit. You feel me? You could be dead and gone already. You was born in 1850. You had that same mind. You was born into all that chaos that they had going. Like that. In that, you got to respect all of Christ here. We all a substance or the Holy Ghost bound in the body. That Holy Ghost come from God. It's not to say your father that ejaculated you out, but it's to say where all that ejaculation truly come from. The source of it. Even the father ejaculating out the substance was ejaculated out. And that, do you get my point? We talking about something that predate man, something that's more divine than man. And man is this thing now stuck in body. There you go. Nothing is our war. We born into other people's stupid ass problems that they had before we came. Tarnishing us, dragging us into they shit. In that, we out here afflicting each other, disrespecting God. Because we all come from. And that we all supposed to keep up with the crisis and make sure ain't no Christ being used as a scapegoat like we was to end up here. We here because the sins of your father. And he like having sex. That sin. We all here because of that. I don't care how old you is. You here for that same reason. You say, Solace, what's our purpose in being brought into life? Because your father was perverse and your mama was too. Meaning they don't know how to control their lust, so they had sex. And so another soul was bound to a vessel because of it. And so we all here because the sins of our father. Well, we all here because the sins of our mama, truly. That's what saves the substance, that egg cell. Otherwise, you ever bust a nut and seen anything come of it? No, that part. So we all ejaculated out from the father, saved by the mother. Now, from there, we have to keep up with each other. Make sure everybody good. We don't. We oppose one another like we Satans or some dumbass shit that was already here before we got here. And so you got to become aware of these things. But like I said, when you're dealing with Hinduism, they have what's known as Jivan Mukti. This is when the mind, the soul, is freed from its ignorance. This is its not knowing. And so you have those two while you're alive, meaning the mind can be freed from its ignorance, and you can come or orgasm. This is the soul being freed from the body. But of course, coming or orgasming is twofold, meaning the comings and the goings. The same way you could bring life or consciousness here, you as a conscious soul can go back where it comes from. But this is beyond the matter, or the physical aspects of self, and this is where most people are lost at. Their physical aspects, they can't really grasp anything beyond that. But you have those two aspects of one acquiring moksha while they're alive. Now you have the moksha that can be acquired after you die. The first is Videha Mukti. This is the Vimoksha when the soul is freed from the body after you die. And that correlates with the soul being freed from the body when you orgasm. On a larger scale though. And so when everybody dies, their soul being released from the body is a matter of them acquiring Vimoksha. If they don't acquire Vimoksha, they be stuck. It's just like in the physical. If you don't acquire Vimoksha in the physical, then you just be lost in your ignorance until you do. When everybody dies, the soul being removed from the body have to do with the soul acquiring Vimoksha, or being liberated, released. And this is the soul's own doing. The soul can only liberate itself when it evolves to a place where it understands that it needs to. Nobody can come in and save you from you. All they could do is guide you and watch and hope that you come along at some point. Look at it like that. All we could do is cheer you on and hope you come out your darkness. But we can't force you because you're going to do what you want. And so you have Videha, Videha Mukti. This is basically a Vimoksha, or a liberation of the soul from the body after death though. Of course you can't acquire that when you're alive. That's why it's a Vimoksha that you can acquire when after, life. Vimoksha has to do with after your physical life, but there are Vimoksha that you can acquire while you are alive. So that's what I'm explaining. Now, after you die, like I said, you can acquire Videha Mukti. This is the Vimoksha when the soul is released from the body after death. And there's the Vimoksha itself. Meaning you have the three Vimoksha that I mentioned to you. This is the soul being liberated from its ignorance, the soul being secreted out of the body as a liquid, and you get it? The soul being removed from the physical body after death. But the main Vimoksha that there is the Vimoksha when the soul is freed or released from its unconsciousness and returned to the all consciousness. That's nirvana or heaven. Remember I said orgasm is twofold? The same way you orgasm and bring a soul into the physical, that door is twofold and you can go back to. Well, we're talking about that now. And so the main Vimoksha have to do with that. When the soul itself is freed from its unconsciousness, having all consciousness, or all awake. Like the Bible say, you don't never have to die again. And you ain't never got to get tired again. And it ain't never dark. It's speaking like that. Y'all have an unconsciousness with y'all. It keep, interfering with y'all just being totally aware. And no separation or cutoff point. Just eternity. It's interfering with your eternity. And so the Vimoksha have to do with that. The soul being released from its unconsciousness. Now, in Hinduism, the soul is the breath. Or you can say you have Jiva Atman, which is your two aspects of the soul. The Jiva is known as the breath or the wind aspect of the soul. And the Atman is known as the witness or the pure conscious aspect of the soul. So you have the breath in the witness. Now, I'm going to show y'all what that is in real life, and I'm going to show y'all how to acquire Vimaksha. If all of y'all close y'all eyes right now and just focus on your breath, the in and out force of it. I don't want you to get lost into I want you to just focus on the breath itself, not like inhaling and exhaling. I don't want you to focus on inhales and exhales. I want you to just be quiet and close your eyes and come into yourself and just pay attention to the pulsating force. Meaning if you're doing it right, it should just feel like a pulsating force in you. If your eyes are closed and you're focused on your breath, meaning your inhale and your exhale, you should at some point just feel it as a pulsating force. It don't have nothing to do with you breathing because you're not doing it. It's doing it on its own. You can interfere with it, but it's going to resist you. Meaning you could stop trying to breathe, but you're going to see that force kick back at you. In that, you get it? It's its own force. Just observe it. Observe it breathing in and out, or observe it pulsating, and observe the force with it. That's what I want y'all to focus on. It is the extension, or this heartbeat is its extension, but I want y'all to focus on the force of it. Make sure your back is straight. If you're sitting, close your eyes and just breathe. Don't try to control the breath. Let it do it. And become aware of the force, meaning you're going to feel the force and presence of it when you put focus into it. That whole thing is your soul. That pulsating force that we call an inhale and an exhale. And the more you focus on it, you could kind of feel the power of it. Where you like, oh yeah, this shit got a little force to it. It's not even like an inhale, exhale. It's just like a pulsating force. And every time it pulsates, it makes me inhale or exhale. Like that. That's your soul, that force. And it's that whole thing that leaves at death. Not the inhale or the exhale, but that whole force. The dead body don't inhale or exhale. I'm trying to get y'all to grasp. That's the soul. That's what you don't detect no more when a person dies. That pulsating force. Meaning they have no pulse, no heartbeat, or any other extension of that pulsation. And this is what they meant in Hinduism when they was explaining your soul. They wasn't explaining something to you that you couldn't detect or know. It's unfortunate in the daytimes you got many Hindu scholars and yogis, but they ain't never tell y'all this. You see how simple the wisdom is? You could be somebody following Hinduism right now. You've been seeking to find out what the Atmam and the Jiva is all this time. And in 5 minutes, I explain it to you, where you can't deny it. You say, oh shit, that was deep. Meaning if you did what I said, you felt the force of it to where you said, oh, hold on, this shit real. That little vibrating or pulsating force within me that I just viewed as me breathing, that's its own thing. That shit powerful. And that's where the chi lie, meaning that presence right there, that's pulsating inside of y'all, whether y'all do anything or not, that thing could be used for more than just you breathing. That's your life force. Key word, the force of it. And so y'all got the grasp. Now in Hinduism, they explaining, it said I start breathing manually when I notice my breath. Oh, you noticed that. I was going to get to that. Did you notice the change of the pattern of the breath when you're aware of it and when you're not? When you become aware of it and close your eyes and focus on it, it feels like a pulsating force. But when you ain't paying attention to it, the whole tempo of it change. It become like a second-hand thing. I was going to get in all of that. I'm about to take y'all through this $1 million scholarship. I don't think y'all grasp. Teaching y'all things that niggas been trying to learn since 5,000 years now. Not being funny. Meaning you just learn what the Atman is in real life. So if you got any Hindu scholar where you like, nah, they know Hinduism better than him, you high. This is what I do. I'm the return of all knowledge, nigga. The accurate way. I wouldn't care who you is. And so the Jiva, Atman, is that. Now that force or that presence that you feel when you're breathing, that's the Jiva. Remember I said the Jiva is the breath, and the Atman is the witness consciousness. Now in that moment that you're paying attention to your breath and the pulsating force of it, you're the Atman. Meaning, that's what they mean by the witness conscious. They mean, if you focus on your breath, then you will come to realize you're the witness being aware of it. And not just that, whatever you choose to be a witness or an awareness of. So you can take that awareness that you put to focus on your breath and you can put it on a person. That's what's meant by the Atman. The pure consciousness or the witness consciousness. This thing is God. It just pay attention to whatever it want and whatever it pay attention to, so it have existence. And whatever it don't pay attention to don't even exist no more. You stop paying attention to your breath, it don't even have no place no more. You get it? Like that. Ain't to say it don't exist, it's just to say once you take your awareness off it, your awareness being the witness, the pure consciousness, that part. Y'all let that get overridden in society. The pure consciousness, your pure soul. And that other aspect of your pure soul, this is the breath. Meaning you got the Jiva in the Atman, the breath and the awareness of. And then there's another thing there. Let me see if y'all gave back. No, y'all didn't. Okay, this is beyond y'all. Y'all not balanced enough. But when y'all get to a place where y'all feeling balanced and y'all care if I earn my living and shit like that when I'm doing these deep lessons, I'll carry on or I'll finish on. But, meaning I'll get to the third, the breath, the witness awareness, and there's another thing there. But I'll come back and do another video where, you know, we all sit together, close eyes, and do this thing so y'all can learn it for real. You know how to acquire the moksha. But let me finish where I was at. But I'm not going to go into the third presence. The Jiva is the breath or the life force. And the Atman is the witness consciousness or the pure consciousness. The breath is the unconscious part of the soul. Meaning the Jiva is the unconscious part of the soul, but that is the life force. That's where everybody go to before they wake up renewed and replenished. You get it? The Jiva is the life force. It's the energy. It's what's ever present or always in existence. Whether we speaking of my Jiva, your Jiva, everybody's Jiva is the same Jiva. In and out the body. Just think of one big pulsating force. It's so powerful it pulsates in the vessels. In the vessels ain't even truly where it's at. It's just that powerful. And then the witness, this is the person. When they not thinking about nothing and letting their mind go into the past or the present, but they just presently aware in witnessing whatever they choose to without having a perspective. You see how you was paying attention to your breath and you ain't had no perspective, no slander for it, nothing. In that, the more and more you sit with your eyes closed and pay attention to the presence of it, well, like the young man said, he noticed his tempo change a little bit. It's a lot you'll learn if you just sit with self and pay attention to the breath, which is the life force. And so the jiva is the unconscious part of the soul. Remember, the soul is the mind and all the aspects of the mind. The jiva is the unconscious part of the soul, and the Atman, or the witness awareness, the witness consciousness, or the pure consciousness, that's the consciousness. So the soul is half unconscious and half conscious. The jiva, or the breath, is the unconscious part. The Atman is the conscious part. In order for the soul to acquire the moksha, the Atman has to become separate from the Jiva. Do you get it? Meaning the awareness that you are have to separate itself from the force that keeps it bound. The beat that keeps it stuck in going unconscious and conscious again. You see how you was paying attention to your jiva, the breath? Had I told you to sit and do it longer, you'd be asleep. Right now. That part. I have to take a restroom break. Hold on. Now, if you're new here, I'm 42 years old, meaning I had a lot of time to study under all these different things. If you wondering, like, how he know that? I studied nature and life. But before I got there, I studied under all the different things that y'all fall into, like Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, Judaism. I studied ancient Egyptian. Most of y'all know me from seeing me with the conscious community, so I know they shit too better than them. Like that, I get around. Everybody like me till they can't have me or control me. But I made my ways around. I studied under Masons for a little while. That's basically just old Christianity, or Christianity before they gave it to y'all, how y'all got it. You know, with all the wisdom separate from it and just, the bullshit stories. But I've studied under many different things. When I say study, I don't mean follow. I ain't a follower. I'm in it for the wisdom. And you get it? I look at all these different schools of wisdom as staircases that lead you back to nature, because they gonna get you frustrated. All these bullshit y'all fall into is just all the things that's gonna frustrate y'all till y'all say, I'm going back to nature and I'll figure it out there, because I ain't got time for this shit. And you get it? That's how that go. It's like it say in that book, man. Jesus, they follow that nigga everywhere, but then when they say he went to the wilderness, ain't nobody follow him there but the devil. You get it? Jesus trying to get the people back out of the Babylons and back into the, the wilderness, the forest. They ain't follow that nigga there. He had to go there to take a break. And that's only because they wouldn't follow him there. Lorenzo Bukes said he is at the beach. No, I'm not at the beach. I'm in my backyard. Oh! that part. Yeah, I'm not liking it. Ends of earth or nothing like that. The beach is on the other side. I don't live on the beach, I live by the river. But you got the beach on the other side. You got some people that live by the beach. Yeah, when I be telling y'all I'm in my on the front or stunt like I'm some baller, but I don't do none of that. Whatever I say, I just speak the truth in the moment. I don't even be thinking about it like that. It's just a backyard. For whoever live on that block, on this block, you know. It go forever though. It's not like a spot. Shit go from different boroughs. If that meaning this waters go from one neighborhood to the next neighborhood, shit go all the way to Manhattan. You feel me? Meaning you could ride a boat from here all the way to Manhattan. But for the most part, I'm just in my backyard. So when you see me doing videos out here, a lot of y'all be getting lost. I guess you thinking I'm traveling out into nature so I can show y'all I'm somebody one with nature. I'm just doing like you do. Like after you do whatever you do with your day, then you get home from work or whatever, you might go on your front porch or your backyard. And maybe you got a nice little lake or something across the street from your house and you go there, you know, just to relax and, you know, unwind for the day. Maybe you go outside and chill with your homies on the bench, whatever. It's the same for me. When I'm doing the videos here, I'm just getting some fresh air for the moment. I ain't doing nothing in terms of like trying to impress y'all or nothing. It's just a nice scenery. I figured to give y'all some peace for the moment. Lamb over yellow rice. This is my work, champ. I made this a whole business. I got my business certificate. I get my 1099, 1040s and all that at the end of the year. I sell my literature. You can visit my website, wiseservant.org or upscaleknowledge.org. And it's like I tell y'all, man, just make the best out of your idle time. You ain't got to sit around hating on nobody, getting mad. You gonna have your down moments where you don't know what you want to do and you gonna be like a little dry. And you gonna have your moments when your mind is moving. Make the best of your idle time. You get my point? Don't compete with people at life. Meaning don't compete your life against the next person. That's how you gonna stress yourself out. Just respect your down moments. This is when you get your mind together. And then you get my point. When you start to put all that shit together, this is your up times. So if you're having a down time right now, it's just a matter of you not doing everything that you're supposed to do with your idle time. Your idle time lead to whatever you do with your idle time is what makes for your future moments. You say, I don't be doing that much shit with my idle time. I be watching online. So your future's with that. Next week you gonna be doing the same. You get it? So you know what, Solace, this week I'ma write a whole book with my idle time. Well, I suppose next week you're gonna be publishing that bitch and you get it. Like that. You have to make the best of your idle time. If you come in and you got a mindset where I'm against you, you should just leave. Because I do my all to try to give y'all the best advice I can. You know, so y'all can do the best for yourselves. Not in terms of you competing with somebody, but just so you be better off than you was whenever your bad time is. And it's just about that growth. Being better mentally and emotionally than you was the year before or the month before. In regards to the physical treasures and wealths, well, they gonna get old. You gonna have to get some new shit. So you gonna always have room to have some downtime in regards to that. But more than anything, if you come here and you got the right mindset, and take off the jewels, apply it to self whenever you're ready and you can. Being angry and bitter is just a waste of idle time. You could be doing anything with your idle time. You got somebody living in your damn head rent free. You can't even afford that. You got to charge them, big baby. I'm gonna say that again. A lot of y'all got people living in y'all head rent free, and you can't afford to be letting nobody shack up with you for free. You are already dumb. You already dumb as hell. You can't afford to be letting niggas take up space in your brain. Come on now. Real estate is not about free. Let nigga live in your head for free ain't what it's about. You don't know that? Let me stop teasing y'all. Y'all know what I mean though. Sitting around jealous of people. You got better things to do than that, man. That's wasted idle time. Instead of thinking about them, think of what you want to do next and start getting to that. You know, putting the pieces and the breadcrumbs down so they lead you wherever they do. And keep your mind open to receiving. And keep your mind open to helping, because giving is the way to receive. So it don't matter how bad off you are, you can still always help somebody, because there's levels of bad offs. In that we can always give even if we don't have. It's all on how much worth you got. See, when the money run out, the emotional state's still wealthy. And I give y'all some good laughs and some good cheers. And when the emotional state sour out, well, I got my mind. I give y'all some good juice. You gotta have wealth in every aspect of your being. Not to stun on niggas, so you can show niggas I can give of you of myself till you can't take no more, nigga. That's wealth. You say the floodgates is open, they ain't never gonna run out. You gonna stop wanting to receive before it do. When this thing run out, I got more of this thing. And you just keep it like that. Giving and receiving. Whatever you could give, you make sure you give that to the world. Whoever take of it, don't take of it. Whoever don't, well, it will be there for whenever they want to receive of it. But you get my point? You leave your best. You try to clear up your bad deeds, or you use them as insight to higher understandings. Meaning your bad times and your mishaps. This is all good wisdom. If you got love for whoever coming behind you. But if you don't got no love for whoever coming behind you, then you don't give a fuck about your bad times and your hardships. You will hope they just disappear out your mind. But when you care about what's coming behind you, well, any hole you fall in, you ain't gonna have pride to say, I ain't never fall in no hole. You gonna tell them every hole you fell in. So they don't. No pride included. No shame included. Yeah, I fell in them holes. But it's good for you, because now you not. So you got to take it like that. If you young, you got to look at your elders like that. They leading the way, blood. Whatever's gonna happen to them first, and from there, don't let it happen to you. You're gonna need you to come get me out the hole. Again, if I'm leading the pack, I'm gonna fall in every hole they got planned for us. But that's fine if y'all gonna get me out of it. You go the other way and double back around and get me out of it. And I get back to leading and falling in these holes. But it's all good, because you get it? The young that I'm falling in the holes for, they not gonna fall in them. And they gonna pull me out. And so that's how we supposed to move as a people. Y'all supposed to learn from our mistakes. We not supposed to have too much pride to tell y'all our mistakes. And y'all supposed to learn from them and don't have the same ones. And that y'all can help some of us that have the mistakes that we made, that we can't get another chance, and y'all can give us one. And so Chizu Sears said, is it possible if we can remove all convenience stores and gas station stores with fruit trees? Or would we be killed if we do so? We can do anything we choose to do in large groups. You're trying to do something as an individual, you're going to get overpowered by the system. But whatever we do in large groups, then the system just have to conform to it. That's how they control. By giving a little to get it all. I don't know if that sounds right, but that's how the system moves. They gonna take all your shit And when you get to complaining for it back, they will start to give you a little bit of your own shit back. And hopefully you be satisfied before you want every dime that you're supposed to get. So think of it like that. I steal millions from you, then I give you $100 here and there. At some point you gonna be like, damn, I got so many hundreds from this nigga, I ain't asking no more. But really you only got about $10,000. You only asked me 10,000 times for $100. And it seems like a lot, but truly I owe you a million. In that, do you get it? You walk off with 10 grand feeling like you owe me, but I took all your shit. And that's where we live. They took all our shit, then they just string us along, giving us back a little bit of shit here and there, to where we feel like we owe them. Nigga, get out of my land. I'm that black nigga. Man, get the fuck out of here. Like, start there. I know people don't want to hear that, but that be the truth. White people be like, what can I do to help y'all? Like, show up. I feel bad for what my ancestors did. You don't have to do anything if you leave. That's all y'all did, truly, was came somewhere y'all wasn't invited. Leave and wait till we ask y'all to come back. We know y'all now, so we probably gonna tell y'all to come on back. We gonna miss y'all. You know, ain't no fun without white people running around all goofy. But come back when we ask y'all to. That's how you do things. That's how you make things right. You don't start stupid talking about what can I do to make it better? Get the fuck out. That's the only problem. I know some of y'all black, you cracking up right now like, hell yeah. That is the only problem. Y'all can leave, take y'all jails with y'all, and let all our people out that y'all locked up in it, and you know, shit like that. We need a time to ourselves to reflect, and you know, and reflect on all this mental abuse, and you feel. But yeah, Chizu said y'all can start planting fruit trees in places that are not, you know. Like I said, there's a lot of land that's not being used, that's not far from y'all. Y'all just don't use it. You can do things. You say, man, what if they come by and rip our trees up? Who cares? You focus on the bringing forth life, so the life getting taken away, because life gonna get taken, nigga. But who cares? Is you the life maker or the life taker? Because I ain't concerned with a nigga killing no nigga. Oh, niggas will be made, blood. You feel me? I don't care about a nigga stealing my wisdom, because the wisdom's infinite, nigga. New wisdom's coming. So get your stealing bag open. If you come in here to steal, oh, you gonna run out of room of shit to steal before I run out of shit to say. You gonna die of old age and disease, nigga, before I even get sick. Before I even show a little blemish of age, you gonna be old and dead. Let me stop bothering y'all. 35, you gonna be dead before me. You do know that, right? 22, you gonna be dead before me. You do know that, right? We talking old age. I done watched a lot of y'all come and go. I done watched a lot of y'all age beyond my years already. You was younger than me looking 10 years ago. Now you look old as shit. Some of y'all like 30 right now. You talk about me. Yup. I remember you when you was just 19, big baby. I was about 33, 32-ish, something like that. You looked a lot younger than me. You was fresh looking and shit. And I had grays, you know, popping out my joint. And now, you look like my daddy. You look like my mother. Older than me. Nah, let me stop bothering y'all. But when the wisdom is right and everything is real, you gonna get real results. Meaning I don't age that much. I stay in shape and things like that, but it's not much work I have to do. Once the vibration is there, you just keep the vibration. And so kind of grass. I'm sorry, I got this bug in my nose. You sit by the river and stuff long enough? Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to figure it out. One nostril keep getting like stopped up. Ah, you know the text now. Lorenzo Buke, salam, shalom, Chizu Sid. Now, we never fuck with cocaine. Champ, get your mind together. At least have a brain enough to know if a nigga gonna sniff some yayo, I wouldn't. Why would I do that? Fucking stupid. Or why would I do it that loud? So y'all. And so I don't come from them times of sniffing yayo. It's not something I ever tried or will try, but I ain't really big on drugs. I already told y'all that. I smoke a little bud, but that's about it. We ain't going past that. I don't really drink none of that and all that other stuff. I drink ever so often a glass of wine if, you know, the environment is welcoming to that. But to just be chilling, I ain't going to get no drink after this or nothing. You get my point? I'm not a drinker. You'll never see me in a liquor store. But like I said, I'm pretty much a sober person. I ain't big on drug use. That shit fuck up my psyche, and y'all know my mind is my everything, so I like to keep that up the parts. Drugs and shit like that, anything gonna interfere with my, you know, psyche, I'm good. Said I'm looking at this crow in the tree. And so, yeah, I don't deal with that yayo, and I hope none of y'all do either. Meaning I clash with people that's heavy drug users. So, but that's normal, you get it? I'm sure you clash with everybody that's sober or close to it. And so moving forward, if you're young, you're gonna always tell who on drugs real bad. From how calm and excited they be, and like if they character change a lot. You get my point? You've been coming here for a long time. You like, yeah, Solid's been the same all this time, you asshole. But he calm though, like he usually calm in his way, but he'll fire you up and then go back to his calm bump. You get it? A drug addict ain't gonna be calm. Ain't gonna be like how y'all see like Charleston White and all these people acting, where they y'all hyped up and load the fuck off in the head, but you like, yeah, they ain't got no, they can't even hear. And you also gonna always be able to tell from the appearance. You see the belly popping out and bulging and all that. Or you see the person getting too anorexic. You know when a person gets slim and you like, it's not healthy. Like that. You're gonna have slim people in life. You're gonna have, you know, you're gonna have all that you have. But we speak in the extremes. That shit gonna make you age beyond your years. Said Nicki Minaj definitely do drugs. I can't tell with the females because they be powdering their face up and stuff. And that you can't see, like, you know? But keep in mind, Nicki Minaj like my age. So she's definitely at the gray head, wrinkles in the face age. But like I said, they do what they do. So you can't always tell. But you'll always tell who on drugs. You say, yeah, I drank some codeine before and smoked bud, but my tolerance go low. Peace and wisdom. Try to stay off the heavy stuff like codeine. Things like that. Stay drug-free completely. That's you and your glory. But if you have a moment, you know you're going to go through some fucked up shit in this life where you're going to need you a moment. You're going to need something to level that out. You get it? If you young, you're going to go through some shit where you're going to need something to level it out. Something to help you to come to terms. Like Tupac said, you're going to see shit here that make it hard for you to smile. And so, don't go beyond weed. Hey, buddy. man. Ooh, when you get old, you can't even slip. A slip is a whole back problem. Woo. You seen that shit got scared? I almost fell a duck, got scared. Come back. Peace and wisdom. Said you all right? That was solid shit. My back hurt now. You know them rocks be slippery. They be under the water, so they got like slime and shit on them. Let me let y'all see. They're usually underwater. You see, when I started, the water was closer back, and it's kind of going out now. You know that tide thing. But the rocks is slippery. That green stuff ain't nothing slipperier than that. I don't know what they even call it, fungi. But it looked dry when you step on it, it's like straight slime. To give you a perspective, I'm like a cat on my feet. Meaning it's hard for me to fall. You probably won't ever see me fall. You'll just see me like slip up or something. But you'll never see me like hit the floor. I'm not exaggerating. Anybody that know me, they'll tell you. We call that nigga the black cat. Because he's so light on his feet and he don't ever fall and shit. You gotta like really force the nigga to go down. I'm saying that so you can see, like, I didn't fall. But that shit was so slippery. You get my point? I almost fell. And I don't... I got hella good reflexes and balance. You get it? I used to be a gymnast, so it's hard to make me fall or something. If one of y'all was out here, that shit would have killed you. Meaning you would have fell. I almost fell and I don't. Back hurt. It took every ounce of power in my back muscles to not fall. You get it? That right there could have just ended me. A lot of y'all don't realize it, but you looking over there now, you see like, oh yeah, if he would have fell, that shit could have been fatal. And this is how people be dying in life. The simplest things like that. You say, damn, he just was sitting by the river and slipped on a rock and that shit ripped right through his head. That's what could have literally happened just now. I could have slipped right there. Y'all know if I would have fell where my head and my back would have hit. It would have hit them rocks. And I'd have either been knocked out or badly hurt. You get my point? And you got a lot of people that lost their lives in the most stupidest ways like that. Where you like, damn, they was just walking down the street and tripped. Is somehow they didn't put their hands out and broke their whole neck. And so you got to be careful in life. Final destination. You get it? And death always working. I just dodged death right there. A lot of y'all don't realize it. And then you got extreme measures of it. Somebody comes shooting at you and you don't get hit. You dodge death. But you got the little moments like that that we overlook where we like, well, ain't nothing happened. Shit, if something would have happened, that would have been my end. Right here on live. Y'all would have literally been on live like, oh shit. Blood ain't getting up. You get it? I don't think he gonna get up from that. The tide would have came in at some point. I'd have been underwater. If nobody come back here, you feel me? And you fall back here and get hurt where you can't move your legs. Well, that tide gonna come all the way back beyond where I'm sitting. So you get it? You gonna be drowned out. It's gonna take you out. And then you'll be one with, you know, the nature. All alone said death play too much. Yeah, death got a hell of a sense of humor. Death will take you out while you eating the egg and make you choke on it. And so you got to always be aware. You got to always be thankful for your life. And that's what's going to keep you going. There you go. Y'all wouldn't even have been able to help me because y'all don't know where I'm at. Maybe somebody watching that's from my area that would have known. But you get it for the most part. Now, I would have been right because there is somebody out here. You see him? Yeah. He out here taking pictures. But other than that, on a regular day, sometimes I'll be out here when it's dark. I would have got eaten by the raccoons. And so, like I said, when you're dealing with Vamaksha or the Jiva Atman, The soul gets Vimoksha when it learns how to discern the difference between the Jiva and the Atman. Like I said, it's three in there. You got the Jiva, which was the breath I showed y'all. And when I say you see how you paying attention to your own breath, that's the witness consciousness. But there's another one. I didn't get to get into that because y'all ain't get back. Well, somebody did. I appreciate your give back. Like I said, I'll come back and go more in depth in this Jiva and Atman thing, because Hinduism go deep in regards to matters concerning your soul. A lot of things I learned in Hinduism pertaining to the mind and death, and you get my point? Understanding dreams and all these different things. Hinduism helped with my understandings on a lot of those things, but you have to have a higher consciousness. Meaning I have acquired Vimoksha in regards to ignorance. I've acquired Vimoksha. My soul has been freed from the dark ignorance that all man has over him, where he don't know nothing. He don't understand life. I'm not talking about society. I'm talking about life. He don't know why he here, how he got here, none of that. The purpose of life, the sun rising and setting, he don't know why that do that. He been here all the years he been here and don't. Like that. That's all an ignorance that's put over us. And we remove it not by external measures, but understanding things within. And so after I've acquired Vimoksha, a lot of things that I read or things I studied under, I understood them. I didn't understand them when I was studying under the thing. I was trying to. So then I move on to the next thing. But once I acquired Vimoksha, then I go back and read them and I understand it. And that I still read the Bible, I still read the Quran, I still read Hindu Vedas and things like that. But I only do it now because I understand. I mean, I have an understanding beyond those books. And that, whatever they're talking about, I can grasp it now. The understanding has to be above whatever you're trying to grasp. You ever hear them say, like, you got to go high up to look down on things, or you got to remove yourself from the circle and be on the outside looking in? Wisdom's like that. You're not going to understand a thing until your consciousness is above it. You follow? And so, most of the things y'all trying to grasp, y'all not going to never grasp until y'all acquire Vimoksha, which is when the soul is freed from its ignorance. And how you do that have to do with balance and honor, meaning you're being fair and you're being honest in your ways and to yourself. They start there. Most people can't get past that part. They never become self-aware to where they can catch their own wrongdoings. And this is a sign to the life that you're ready. Look at it like, however much you could discipline yourself, then the life will give you what you've disciplined yourself for. You have to decide when you're ready to understand. The understanding is always there, but you have to prep yourself to understand. And once you do that, then you will grasp. You get it? It's like you telling a child, you're not going to grasp 1 + 1 = 2 until you listen and focus. And I could teach you anything you want to learn, but until you actually listen and focus and care, then you're not going to get it. And so it starts with you. That's how it is in life. Life got you on blocked off until the emotional state and the mind is fair and just. When the mind and the emotional state is fair and just, then you can say the higher glory or God will remove the blindfolds. He will remove the veil so you can see how you need to see. Right now, you're not looking through just binoculars, so you don't even need to worry about seeing. And so if not for anything, at least now some of y'all that pretend like y'all know how to meditate, you can now sit and have something to actually do. Sit, focus on your Jiva or your breath. In that, your mind won't wander. And when it starts to wander, you'll come to another self-realization. Of course, you all can get one-on-ones on these things. That's the best way to do meditation, Hinduism. Imagine if you was doing this with me one-on-one. Meaning when I said all of you close your eyes and focus on your breath. Imagine if it was just me and you. You would have got a lot more out of it. You get it? You'd have been able to stop and say something like, hold on, this happened. What that mean? Like that. You can kind of experience it in real time and ask what's transpiring in the moment. And so that go deep. I gave y'all like I said, I took y'all further along than where y'all truly at with that wisdom. But that's just to show you all this knowledge is real, and there's real things you can do when you understand right. And so if you never realized or noticed your soul, or you ever wondered, what is the soul? And what do they mean by the soul is the breath? Are they talking about us breathing? No, they talking about that force in you that you never noticed in that way. You can only notice it with your Atman. This is your higher self. In that, most of y'all don't realize it, but in that moment, I put you in your higher conscious so you can grasp what I'm saying. You get my point? That can be done for many other things. So if you're watching and you say, I never noticed my soul or my breath in that way, so you brought it to my awareness. I ain't just bring that to your awareness, I awakened your Atman. You get it? Most of y'all lost there. You think like, oh, he showed me something new. Blood, I did something way more deeper than that you're not even aware of. I opened up an aspect of your mind that was asleep. The witness. I awakened your Atman for you. You may let it go back to sleep. Maybe you don't. You watch, you say, I got a yogi that teach me. He ain't never opened up because he don't know nothing. I could make y'all a genius right now, but y'all not deserving of it. Meaning you ain't got good morals. I don't know what you gonna do after I open your third eye, so to say, in the state you in now. I can't say what you gonna do with what I just gave you, but you get it? Like that. Y'all don't understand how wise I truly am. I can make all y'all wise instantly. Y'all just don't take the time out on y'all emotional state and mind being just. I can't do nothing with that. I can't force that. You get my point? If you lost, I just opened your mind up to Jiva and Atman. You knew nothing of it. But this don't got nothing to do with scholarship. We talking about a real aspect of yourself I opened your mind up to. Forget the scholarship. I just opened your mind up to that breathing inside of you. That's not breathing. That's a force pulsating. And that whole thing leave your body when it die. And that's the soul. And now you got a higher understanding or an awareness of something you never even noticed. You would have never noticed that if your witness consciousness was not awakened. You follow? That's how you notice that. So if you're watching right now, you say, man, that was deep. A new part of your mind is open and you don't even realize that part. It don't have nothing to do. How many times did somebody mention your breathing and your breath before? Did you ever become aware of what I just told you? You never sat with yourself? Did you ever notice that? No, you didn't. Because your mind, your Atman was asleep. The God part of your mind. I opened it for you. In that, I didn't teach you anything. I opened up your mind. So this is why the young man said, hey man, when I was doing it, this happened. His mind open now. I can't close it. He can only close it. Once his awareness is open, he gonna start being aware of all kind of shit. Just need somebody like a yogi or a wisest man alive to come along and open up. You get it? The chakra. Now open up the chakra with word, sound. I can open up some of y'all minds with music, with no words though. You gotta close it with the words. The words fill in the space. But you get my point? I'm wiser than y'all grasping that y'all not taking advantage of the time. Getting the most out of it. Yeah, my wisdom is dangerous in the mind of an ignorant person. For their own self though. It's about presence and becoming aware of presence. Presence ain't got nothing to do with being seen. It got to do with being felt. Y'all don't see hurricanes, y'all feel them. You don't see an earthquake, you feel it. Presence. Y'all are a presence in life. If you felt that force inside of you that was pulsating, that you call your breathing, that. Ain't nothing more powerful than that. But that have to be, the energy of that have to be understood so that it can be harnessed. That energy have to do with knowing. We ain't talking about an energy like a brush of air. We talking about a deep knowing. So when you were sitting there listening to your breath or observing your breath and the pulsating force of it, you did that through your God mind only. Your physical mind is not subtle enough to be aware of something that unseen. You understand? For you to perceive your soul, you'd have to perceive it through the mind of the soul, not the physical mind. That's what I did for you. I opened up your Atman, or bring your Atman through by telling you to close your eyes and focus. God is that, an unjudging focus. And when the focus is not judging and it's just completely focused, shit can grasp things y'all won't imagine. Y'all keep adding y'all perspective in on top of y'all awareness. Like I said, it's three things there. But you got the witness and then the breath, and then y'all keep adding y'all own perspective. It blocks out the Atman. Or the witness. The witness knows everything. That piece of your mind you was being aware of your breath with, and how it was just silently there, not even paying attention to itself, but just paying attention to the breath. And then close your eyes and focus on your breath again, but this time direct your awareness on the presence that's being aware of the breath. Let's go too deep. Like I said, y'all can get a one-on-one. But understanding God, devil, and all these many different aspects of life start there with self. Most people ain't got enough time for themselves. In that, do you get it? Their awareness is put on the world, and so all is going to waste. And put a little bit into yourself. Peace and wisdom, Slim Reaper. Yeah, I've opened up many aspects of y'all minds in different dreams. I mean, in different videos. I just never say nothing. I be forgetting to... Basically the same thing I was about to do in this video. forget to tell y'all, like, I didn't just give you a wisdom, I did something to you. Like, I opened up a blocked part of your mind, but you might let it go back blocked again. It all depends on how much you respect, what I do. It's with anything. You gonna treat the thing however you respect whoever gave it to you. And so you get it. If I ain't that important to you, then you ain't gonna take what I say as too much importance, and then you ain't gonna apply it, and you ain't gonna get nothing out of it. If you respect my mind and you knowing, like, nah, that dude is the wisest nigga breathing. So you take what I say more than the next. You apply it more. Peace and wisdom, peaceful particle. All of y'all that's channel members, y'all can reach out and ask questions to me and pretty much get free one-on-ones. You get my point? I ain't gonna give you a whole hour of my time, but you can always ask me a question and I'll take the time out to explain whatever your mind is pondering on. You say, man, I need to learn I want to meditate tonight, Solace. I need to do something because I feel fucked up. I'll take the time out, 10-15 minutes, get you started and situated. Shit, even if you ain't a channel member and I ain't busy, you take the time out, it ain't gonna kill me, none it's gonna help you. But one less nigga running around here with attitude problems fucking up life, so you get it? I charge it to that. A one less nigga thing, you feel me? Give out this wisdom, y'all give back or not, but at least for the most part, one less nigga. If you grasp anything I say, so that help to get yourself from being a full-blooded nigga only, and you get my point? One less nigga, like I said. And so whatever you do in life, try to make sure it serves the next generation coming up. You don't want to be like how we are now, where we feed the young all the wrong shit and we show them all the wrong ways in our actions and then cry when they kill themselves off in us. Ain't no point of that. Y'all ain't taking out the time with the young. I curse them out and shit like that, but that's just regular. Because they young. I'll take the time out. You feel me? Nobody taking out the time to correct nothing and keep everything on track. And you get my point? You're not respecting what's coming after. And so when you don't, then what's coming after kill you itself, and you get it? And that's where we at. Our young are turning on us and their own self. And this is all a result of the ignorance we've been pumping into them. Well, y'all, I take none of it. I don't take no, y'all, that's y'all doings. Peace and wisdom, Jesus said. Yeah, most people have children for all the wrong reasons, but just because you do something for the wrong reasons don't mean that what come after don't be a right thing. Most of the greatest things y'all gonna do in this life gonna be for the wrong reasons or for no reason at all. And so you get it? People who have children for all the wrong reasons. Of course, we can have children before our minds is fully developed. And that is become inevitable, you know? You more than likely gonna have kids before you know anything that you truly need to know. Because you can have kids way before you gonna even get there. In that, you not mature enough with what you got. Look at it like that. We given the blessing of reproducing before we mature enough to handle it. And then you stick your dick in any old thing all fast and you give your earth up. That's your poom poom 90-90. And you give that up, you know, in not the smartest ways, but you got the power to do so before you even reach this smarts that you're supposed to have. So you would think we would get the wisdom before we get the gift, but no. gift gonna come before the knowings, because if you know, you ain't gonna want. So the gift got to always come before the knowing. If y'all knew better, y'all wouldn't have kids, but y'all don't. So there's the glory. You get it? Yeah, a nigga with a bunch of kids say, I wish I never had no fucking kids, man. But he ain't said that before he had one. And so you get it. Sometimes the gift got to come before the knowing, or the knowing of the mind, and the maturity of the mind won't do anything. And so you get it. Ignorance is bliss. Don't ever. Everything serve you, like I always tell y'all. The good and the bad. It all depends on where you at, though, and how your awareness take it in. So just be self-aware. I'm about to depart. I'm getting really drained out. I ain't got no juice or nothing. I'm getting dehydrated. Kids is a blessing and the greatest thing in life, you know? And when anybody lose sight of that, they've lost sight of life and everything in life that matters. I don't care if you ain't in your kid's life and you known as a deadbeat loser. Don't ever lose sight that kids, whether you raise them or not or whatever, they the glories of life. And there ain't nothing above a child, a newborn baby. If you say, why not? We all started as that. There ain't an old, ugly, wrinkled face you see that wasn't a newborn baby. Then everything come from that glory. That is the life. The newborn. Once it get old, you feel me? It don't even matter no more. But kids, whether they come out good or bad, whether they do what you want them to do or do whatever they want to do, when you come out of your own ego and just sit back and look at them, it's a glorious thing. Some of y'all 15 right now. Some of y'all 10. 10 years from now, y'all gonna be 20 through 25, and y'all all gonna be something. And some of y'all gonna be nothing. But the people my age ain't aware of these things. You get it? And the generation coming behind y'all, they like 3 years old now. When them 3-year-olds turn 20, you got to know some of them gonna be something. You got mad roles in life to be filled. 10 through, some of y'all last 10 and some of y'all 15 right now. 10 years from now, some of y'all gonna be in the NBA. Some of y'all gonna be in rap. Some of y'all gonna be actors. Some of y'all gonna be rich. Some of y'all gonna be the president, or you gonna be some type of senator or something. Everybody gonna be something. And some of y'all gonna be the bum on the corner begging for change, the alcoholic in front of the liquor store. You get my point? Everybody gonna be something that already is. In that, when I look at the young, I don't know how to tell them that. Like, you know, some of y'all gonna be the bum in front of the liquor store. And whether you realize it or not, some of y'all gonna be in the NBA. Because it's gonna be all new people in the NBA then. LeBron was 10 years old watching Michael Jordan, Kobe too. Do you get it? They ain't come from wealth. They was bums living in a broken environments watching this shit. You think the people older than them at that time was looking at them saying, man, some of these 10-year-olds 10 years from now gonna be in the NBA. Some of them gonna be working in the office place. Some of them gonna be driving a bus. Some of them, you get it? Y'all all gonna be something. And that if you old, respect the young. I ain't telling you to be unfair and let them disrespect you, but respect them. They all gonna be something just like we all grew into something. And 50 years from now, I'm long and gone. So one of y'all gonna fulfill and surpass where my mind went, you know? And when you get to those kind of realizations, oh, it gets so glorious. Can you fathom a whole bunch of y'all, maybe 5, 10 of y'all, becoming wiser than me? Crazy, right? And And so it's a reality. That's what's going to happen. It's not a guess or a thought. It's a reality. Every nigga that was a genius before my time, do you get it? You wake them up out of their grave, they gonna be flabbergasted. Like, how the fuck do he know? I would have never expect a wise nigga to look like that. And so that's how you know when it's God. It ain't how you expect it to be, cause it ain't your doing. If you look at me, you say, I don't think he look like what a wise person should look like. God don't care what you think. Peace and wisdom, Brazilian. He said graveyards hold wealth. Nah, they don't. They clean that body out before they put that in the ground. You better get smart. You take whatever parts of the body that hold worth. We talking financial worth. Oh, they remove it. That's why y'all can't bury y'all own dead till they get all they want out of it. You know how many metals and how much precious diamonds is in the spine? Nigga, y'all crazy. The spinal vertebrae is a scepter. You crack that bitch open, it's like a rock that got gold veins and shit in it. You could excavate a nigga's spine. Let me shut up. That shit deep. But y'all spine and the bones of y'all body, inside of it is where all the wealth is. And they can tell you bone marrow costs how much? Oh, again, in the bone, that's where the money at. The skeleton, that hole of jewels. I'm talking real jewels. Gold, mercury, silver, lead, all that in that spine. Each section of the spine is made of its metal. I know you think, oh no, my spine is white bone. Indeed. You got iron in your blood. That part. If you got iron in your blood and your blood ain't even solid, you don't need to tell me about your spine. I said all the metals and precious metals of life is in there. That's how we got in the blood. And all the gold is in the central part of the brain. It's a deep thing. Yeah, y'all dead bodies. It's like a meal that's ready now. They say finally they reached 100 years old and they died. Let's cut this shit open and get all the treasures out that been growing inside. There's a lot of substances in y'all. They're good for healing, good for making sick, all kind of things. All the precious treasures of life is in y'all. Drugs, all kind of things. And you just look at you as all the days of your life has just been the accumulating of these things internally. Your attitude ain't just raising, but every aspect of what's going on in you is raising. So the gold content raising are becoming more physical. Your brain is becoming more solid. Your bones becoming, everything is becoming more physical. When the vessel finally die, well, you can crack that thing open and get all the physicals out of it. You get it? That heart been pumping for a long time. You get it? There's a lot of iron in blood. Do you follow? Precious metals are in the spine, yes. The cervical part of the spine, this is your coppers. C1 through C7. You got 7 vertebrae of the neck area of the spine. It's called the cervical part of it. The C1 through C7 is the many different levels of copper transitioning into tin. The thoracic part of the spine, you have 12 vertebrae, T1 through T12. The thoracic part of your spine. This is like the chest area, but we're talking about in the back of you, your spine. Hey, that's your tin, your different levels of tin transitioning into lead. The lumbar part of the spine, L1 through L5, this is your different levels of lead transitioning into silver. And of course, the sacrum part of the spine, this is the bottom root part of it. That's where your silvers is. The coccyx, this is where the mercury is at. And of course, the central brain, which sit on top of the spine, that's where the gold at. And so your spine is like an instrument of opposite metals. The top of the spine is gold, the bottom of it is mercury. Beneath the top is copper, and beneath the bottom of it, meaning the level above the bottom, is silver. Copper and silver's opposites. In perspective, gold and mercury is like opposites. Tin and lead, opposites, are transitioning metals that will transition in. You get it? Copper and tin is similar. You follow? They both got that goldish look. Like that. Mercury and silver is similar. You follow? Lead and silver is similar. If you lost, niggas say, I'll fill your ass up with lead. What they talking about? A metal bullet. A metal bullet. And so, you could get my book, The Spirits in the Spine. It's on my website. They have a whole chapter where I break down every aspect of the spine, but through the images. So, I show you images of the spine and, break down every order of it. There's a lot of metals in the spine. There's a lot to do with the internal aspects of the self. So you can go to my website and get that book, The Lesser Key of Solace, or it's called The Spirits in the Spine. If you lost all the spirits is in your spine, when all the cells in your body die, that's where their energy or their soul goes, to a particular place in your spine. You get it? You as the consciousness rising up and down that hall. Your spine, Hall of Amenti. I have 11 books currently. If you want to purchase them all, you can reach out to me. I'll give you a discount. And I got 3 coming within the next month or so. I haven't written a book I haven't published one since 2022, like November-ish. So all 2023 and all 2024, I haven't put out any new books. There you go, Trill Chris. If someone annoys you or you mad at someone, it's just an aspect of yourself that's not settled. Even if they're starting with you and you can't control yourself, meaning you want to control yourself, but you just seem like you can't. When they get there, that mean like that, And so you seem like you coming along. Most of y'all seem like y'all coming along, just fine. Take your time, ain't no rush. You gotta look at it like you're gonna be here for a long time, so ain't no need to rush nothing. Y'all all meant to hear this wisdom when y'all ready to. And so you meant to hear this now because you said you is. And so you get it? The energies in life that have to do with raising you up, they gonna start working for you until you decide that you don't want them to. You get my point? Everything gonna pull for you that you want, like however you want it. And so just stay balanced, Make sure y'all give back ever so often or I'll starve out. Check out the literature and things on my website. That's what I am. An author. Independent scientist. Not a YouTuber. I just come on here to get with y'all. Otherwise, I ain't got no means to promote myself. I ain't got enough to be buying ads and commercials and all that. So you get it? I just use whatever I can. It's just a part of being wise. You make the best of your time and the best of whatever you got at your fingertips, even if it ain't yours. You make the best of it. So you get it? I just make everything be like how I need it to be till I get everything I need, you know? And so kind of grasp. The next book I'm coming out with is the ancient Egyptian one where I explain all the different entities and what they are in reality. In a book explaining spells, it's going to have the periodic table of elements with a bunch of different liquids. And, you know, like I taught y'all how spells work. Peace and wisdom, broski. J Hall, Trill Chris, Slim Reaper, and everybody else. Now I'm about to depart. Y'all enjoy y'all evening. Be well. If you not, use my telling you to be well as a reminder that you're supposed to be. And get to that. Salam.